On Intel Extreme Master Certified PCs, you'll find a gold badge. It means you'll find brilliance inside, that you'll get high-grade components like Intel Core i7 and i9 processors that'll deliver the uncompromised performance you need to game like a pro. Not to mention, every purchase supports the prize pool of Intel Extreme Masters. Intel, unleash your brilliance.
Seven questions. Prize boost challenges. And Paula and James. Welcome to the quiz break.
Cześć, Katowice. I hope I've not just butchered how to say hello in Polish. And a big shout out once again to our robot assistant. Remember, when you guys take over the world, I've been supporting since day one. Now it's time for the golden boys of quizzes to give you another 7 questions.
Oh yes, and we're putting our asses on the line for you guys at home in the prize boost challenge, and for one purpose only.
Yes, James, and that is so you guys can win bigger and better prizes. But to cash in your prizes, do not forget to head on over to esl.glhf.gg. Let's not waste any more time and get right into the first question.
Nikolai Nico Kovac has a cousin competing at the top level of CSGO, but who is it? Hunter, Guardian, or Nexa?
James, that is a family of absolute Counter-Strike Donnies, mate.
Yeah, they are next level, but one is slightly better than the other.
I don't know, man. These days, both of them are firing off. Question number 2. In March 2019, what product and team collaborated with Dr. Disrespect in a commercial? Donuts with Team Liquid, headphones with Astralis, or razors with Cloud9?
This is a tough one, though.
Is it, James? Is it really?
I don't know, it depends how much commercials you guys are watching.
It's my favourite pastime, mate.
It would be yours, wouldn't it? Let's move on to the next question, mate. Which ESL Cologne 2019 sponsor was highly discussed in the Twitch chat during the event? Smith & Wesson, Warsteiner Beer, or Tinder?
So, Smith & Wesson make guns. Warsteiner Beer presumably make beer, and then Tinder is a dating app, right, James? I've never used it. James, I've got a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, we are moving on. We'll be back very soon with the rest of the 7 questions and, of course, the prize boost challenge.
And don't forget to lock in your answers, guys, on esl.glhf.gg.
Poporoci! I mean, see you soon in Polish.
All right, smart ass.
It's just Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, Vodafone, and Euronics.
At the end of 2019, we had our problems and issues with communication and everything else. The beginning of 2020, we worked hard. We had a few boot camps. We fixed like some fundamentals that we were lacking, and like raw aim skill, we had this always. What we were lacking was fundamentals and like proper communication and team play, and this is the only thing we focused on. We are not even on the high level right now in terms of these aspects, but we are at a level like high enough in order to like contest other teams. And once like our individuals are on fire and hitting their shots, then we win games. Even though people thought we were the favorites coming into this game, I didn't think we were the favorites. I think they are way more experienced than us, definitely more than me and Hunter, for example, even Jax and Amanek. Maybe Kenny is the only one who can you know, stand up there with them in terms of experience. They played on this stage like for the past 5-6 years. It feels like comfortable for them, it feels like home. Even without a crowd, I definitely felt the pressure of playing like on the big stages, you know, and it even showed in my game and even in the team's game, because I did make some like questionable calls throughout the best of three, but I'm glad that I could actually overcome the pressure and help my team when it was most needed, like on this third map, and make it to the finals. It's absolutely amazing.
We were surprised that they played not that good. I think first of all we saw all the maps and we understand that it's our map pool. It's one of our best maps, you know. And after all, we just saw that we hit our shots. We just try to play round by round and not chill and not relax because it's Astralis. Feels like we step up as a team. And finally we get our big event final. Last time it was, I think, Cologne. It's amazing feeling when you're in final already. So you understand that the all days that you spent here practicing gives you a result. I think they're potentially dangerous because they did a great preparation before this tournament, and they just surprised everyone in game. We're just gonna watch this whole game and play it, and boom, we're gonna learn their play style and all of this, and we'll be ready. I just want my team to win, and I just gonna do everything for team, just to play same levels that I played yesterday, and just want to get this victory for, first of all, Boomich and Perfecto, and of course our coach as well.
The date is March the 1st, 2020. This is going to be one that you're going to want to mark on the calendars for next year. You're going to want to remember this, and you're going to want to have that anniversary each and every single time. We have G2, we have Navi, we have them pitted against each other in a best-of-5 grand final. And already, this one's going to be breaking the Richter scales.
Yeah, we have the two highest rated players in the entire tournament going toe-to-toe as well, right? Kenny on one side, we've got s1mple on the other side. They've been putting up some remarkable performances right here. And the type of Counter-Strike that these two teams have been playing, right? Oh, was it...
got the veto
I was like, whoa, all right, we're in. So the veto, we know the bans, overpass for G2, and then it should be Navi taking out that Vertigo here. Sure. So we can whack the bans up nice and quick. It's the picks here. Now, I was going to say, if G2 were feeling super confident on Dust 2, I'd be expecting them to pick that. But actually, they've left it for Navi to pick it, knowing it, they get it as the second. So that's a strong first pick there by G2. I like that they're willing to take it to Nuke, whereas in the rest of the series they've played here so far, they have been picking Dust 2. They've wavered a little bit recently. They lost their last 2 games on it. They lost to Fnatic and Mouse Sports, right?
Yeah, G2 have played 10 maps this tournament, lost 2 of those, both of them on Dust 2, as you said, to Mousesports and another team. So G2 not picking Dust 2 here, it makes sense to me. And having Train as a decider, we don't often see that, so that's kind of cool.
It's surprising that, you know, Inferno and Train are so far down in that order right there. I think that it's probably the best first map pick that G2 could have gone with in this situation. Yeah. So look, it was going to be a question of, for me, how confident did they feel in their own Dust 2 that they'd pick it, because both Navi and G2 have been enjoying it. So once we get to that second map, that's where I expect the biggest fireworks. But kicking it off on Nuke, it's going to be an interesting one because, like I said earlier, I think G2 are the better prepared team. You know, I think they've got more to fall back on.
I would definitely echo that sentiment. You look towards Navi at this tournament. They played 15 maps. They lost 4, and 2 of those losses were on Nuke. Both of them to FaZe, right? We saw them play Nuke yesterday against Astralis. They were at a very high level. But then again, yesterday it felt like everything just worked out for Navi, right? It was not as much about them coming in prepared. You know, it's more about the entire team just hitting all the shots. And at that point, Astralis just seemed to play with no confidence. So the fact that we get to see Nuke as the first map, they already lost the tries to FaZe Clan. I see a little bit of a weakness here within the Navi Panther, but that's about it, right? The rest of the maps, they should be pretty even.
These next 2 gentlemen are far from the word weak. They are far from the word weakness. In fact, they are going to be your commentators going into this first game. We're going to be taking a stop by with Henry and Alex.
I think I can do the talking for them right now here. They're lacking some microphones in their hands right now.
No, they do need those, actually.
But that's all right. We can do it for them while this thing gets sorted on out.
Yes, welcome to the Vodafone View, everyone. This is the Vodafone View. We are about to discuss that of Kenny S and s1mple. No spoilers, of course.
We just said the 2 highest rated players in the tournament at the moment, and maybe the microphones will be... Well, they're not coming through right now. So there we go. Alex is there.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so we wanted to take a moment just before we jump into the casting sheet, just to talk a little bit about these individuals. But it's not so much the numbers I care about, Henry.
No, not so much at all.
Like, so there is a bit of a, and admittedly, this is all going to be conjecture and all that fluff that we like to fill the start of the show with.
Please do.
But like, I've been looking at the interviews and listening to a lot of the stuff that we've heard from s1mple and Kenny. Both of them on your screens now. We talked to s1mple as well, and he said, you know, and I think it kind of got glazed over. Richard Lewis drew attention to it as well on Twitter. He said, you know, I don't think we should glaze over the fact that s1mple is calling this team the best team he's played with, and he's highlighting all the individuals. And he even said, it's kind of like when I was with Liquid. I will remind you what that was. In fact, why don't you?
Yeah. I know you got this whole story.
Okay, so
beforehand.
Yeah. So MLG Liquid, that was s1mple coming in as one of the world's best, incredibly talented, but the issue was he had this attitude. The attitude was his team couldn't keep up, and he found that frustration. He felt like he had to do it all. And that win for Liquid, he cried in an interview with Puckett because he underperformed and they still won. That breakthrough and the fact he's comparing it to that team in this grand final is a very good sign.
It's a great sign. It's the best Counter-Strike I think I've seen anyone play, to be honest with you. Yesterday,
He's got confidence. He believes in his team.
It was insane. And speaking of confidence, it's nice to see Kenny S. I don't want to say he's back. I don't want to... I think he's one of those as well. Yeah. Is that one of them? You got him?
I think I have one of them
here. I don't
here.
want to say he's back, but I do want to say that the fact that it seems like he's been reborn as a player. It seems like they've actually got trust within him in the squad. He's not being thrown out there and expected to carry the team. Yeah. Everyone's chiming in, and he's got some world-class firepower with him as well. The form of Hunter and Nexa, amazing additions to the team. Jax as well, looking fantastic. Amanek 10, looking amazing.
More SMGs.
This is going to be a great game. I really can't wait for it.
Yeah, it is going to be fantastic. We head back to Trace, but last words, of course, Kenny saying that this team has given him respect that he's never received before in a team. I think these stars, given the respect they're currently given, is going to put on quite the show in this grand final.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be looking forward to. An action-packed, full-fledged attempt here from both of these teams to grab this trophy.
We have 2 teams who like to play aggressive Counter-Strike. We have 2 teams who like to give it to each other. They like to be assertive. It can only be a firework of a match.
Talk about some fireworks. I'm ready to shoot a few off. I'm ready to get this grand final started. 1 best of 5 separates us from a championship moment.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when
Welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters 2020 Katowice Grand Finals, and we've reached the pointy end. It's time to see the two teams still standing tear each other apart in the Spodek for the first ESL Pro Tour Masters Championship. Now, one team did something to Astralis in the semi-finals, which has both never been seen before and should come with a parental consent advisory. It was that brutal. The other, well, even though they contain in their ranks some of the greatest players of the game, they have never made it beyond the group stages. Here, this year, they are reborn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. It's G2.
Kenny S, Amanek, Jax, Nexa, Hunter. This G2 lineup is packing a punch, and they brought it all the way to the grand finals.
They say hard work pays off. That's true for G2. They're riding an immense wave of confidence, undefeated in 13 series straight.
The other team, they've been here before, having won in Katowice in 2010 and 2011. They played yesterday a form of Counter-Strike that was possibly the best team performance we have ever seen. The question now is not if they can do it, but if they can do it again. Taken to the stage, it's NAVI.
Flamey, Electronic, Umich, Perfecto, of course, The Undertaker, and s1mple. This team has come here packing a punch as well, and they are not going to go home until they figured this one out.
Navi has never won an IM Katowice. s1mple has never won an IM Katowice. Today, they take that stage to change that fact.
They absolutely take this stage, and they're going to do it with force. They want to get ahead of this game. They want to get ahead of G2, and they want to put a stop to them early on. And that is what we're going to be looking forward to.
We saw it yesterday. We saw how good they can play. We saw them on their A game, absolutely demolishing Astralis. 16-5, 16-5, giving them the biggest beatdown that we have ever seen in the history of Astralis. Impressive, but can they do it again?
G2, I've said it, they're looking organized, they're looking prepared, they're looking ready. The firepower in this team has been immense.
That it certainly has. We are looking for a fight, and I think we're going to get it.
Oh, baby, yes, we are. Hugs on the stage between Kenny and s1mple so far. First, a question to you, Kenny. Did you watch the performance yesterday?
Yeah, I did. They were really impressive, but we're going to make a better show than Astralis, hopefully, and it's going to be a really long game, so really looking forward for it.
I am so hyped for this. We saw flames behind us. We're going to see it in the server as well. We've talked before about you never getting out of the group stages here. After 5 years, you make it to the knockouts, straight to the grand final.
Yeah, indeed. The team is really great. We have been working a lot, and it's paying off for this tournament, so we are really happy about it.
For people who are watching around the world, what message do you have for them for what we're about to see?
Well, I know that every fans never managed to get into the arena, so we think about you. We know that it's your passion and you never managed to be here. It's unfortunate, it's no one's fault, but for the one watching, enjoy the show because it's going to be a really good show.
It is going to be a good show. On this side of me is s1mple. What was said to you after yesterday, both online and I saw you applauded back into the hotel? What was said to you after yesterday's performance?
We played our best game, so that's why it was more easy for us yesterday.
It was said to me a couple of times by people that maybe you had peaked in the semi-finals. Yesterday you peaked and you wouldn't be able to do it again.
No, I'm not thinking about this. I mean, it's not our peak yet, and this final is just another great experience for our new roster and a chance to get this trophy.
Are you telling me we might be able to see more from this NAVI lineup?
Yeah, of course, but it's just 2 weeks of practice, so be ready for next month.
Wow, 2 weeks of practice, and that's what we saw yesterday. Shake hands if you want, guys. G2 against NAVI. Wherever you are in the world, put your phone on mute, strap in, and in the words of Marvin Gaye, it's time to get it on.
G2 taking on Natus Vincere right here for a best of 5. Both of these teams have made a really strong case for making it to this trophy.
Yeah, the hurdles that these teams have had to come over are different, right? For the G2 side of things, they have a lot of inexperienced players up on this stage. Navi, sure, Boomich and Perfecto, they haven't played too many stage matches, but the other three, they've been doing it for a while now. If G2 can perform the same way that they have, keep that composure, keep that structure, and the individuals didn't shy away from any battles that we saw in any of the games so far, this one here could be an absolute banger.
I think you're spot on when you're saying that it could be an absolute banger, but we need to see the players step up to the occasions. We need to see G2 go out and do what they do the best, and that is play aggressive Counter-Strike, proactive Counter-Strike, and constantly apply pressure towards Navi. s1mple has been playing hearts out, some of the best Counter-Strike we probably have seen a player ever play in such a tournament, but if you can shut him down with being aggressive, then G2 got a long way right there.
I've said this a lot of times. s1mple is the greatest player to ever touch the video game of Counter-Strike. I'm going to stand by that probably until the day I die, because this man right here, what I see him do in the server is absolutely nasty. He makes everybody else look foolish. He doesn't shy away from anything, right? I think an important factor that Alex was talking about during the view segment was, as an individual, he now has a team behind him that he believes in, and I think we're seeing that in the way that they approach the game. He's having faith in his teammates, and that's helping them get to this point.
There is a counter to s1mple, though, and he's called Kenny S. He's seemingly playing some of the best Counter-Strike we've seen Kenny S play in many, many years. We knew him to be one of the best players, one of the best AWP players to ever touch the game. He's been in a bit of a down period there, I said. He hasn't been up to the same standard. At IEM Katowice 2020, Kenny S has been looking at his best. He could be the guy that could potentially shut down s1mple. And if G2 want to win this final, they need to shut down s1mple.
And it seems like when Kenny got the newer, younger teammates, it was kind of like a revitalized version, almost like a resurgence, if you will.
Yeah, well, having an international roster come in, you have players like Nexer and Hunter who would have been watching Kenny for years when he was at top of the game. You look up, that's Kenny S. I'm in the server now with one of the greatest AWP players of all time. That is something, you know, which I would follow him into battle any day of the week. So having that understanding as a team, having faith in everyone. They've really bought into this project. Malik has done a fantastic job of molding this G2 team into what we see today.
Yeah, fantastic work here from both coaches, even if you think about what impact that they've had in short amount of time. We heard it from s1mple there. It's only been 2 weeks of practice. We'll see you next month. That's some scary words.
There are some scary words. It's indeed the coaches, it's the in-game leaders of these two lineups as well. We got to talk about Nexer. We got to talk about Boomich, right? None of these players half a year ago were considered by any means, you know, great in-game leaders. But what they've done to each of their respective teams so far at IEM Katowice has been super, super impressive. Nexer is playing like a superstar while he's still calling the troops around. Whereas for Boomich, he's been stepping it up. He's not really known to be a star player on the server, but he's been playing like one as a recency. So if he can keep up that level, then we got another nice little duel to look out for. Kenny S against s1mple, of course, but Nexer going up against Boomich, that's a good one as well.
Guys, we have Nuke. Then we're going to Dust 2, Mirage, Inferno, Train. Should we need them all? Where are you going when it comes to these predictions?
Look, I think Navi is going to take this series. I have faith in this team. I think that what they've been able to create in a short amount of time is something remarkable, and I think that firepower can't be stopped. They get to start on the CT side of Nuke here. There's no better place to start as individuals with this kind of firepower.
I definitely agree with you. The problem is I think G2 has more firepower than Navi has right now. Simple as it is, I think G2 have more strings to play off. s1mple, of course, if he plays up to the level he did yesterday against Astralis, if he plays like he's been doing throughout the playoff, then it's going to be hard to stop Navi. So I'm not going to count them out, but just looking at the two teams so far at IEM Katowice 2020, I think G2 has been looking like the better prepared team. That being said, though, as you said in the pregame as well, Navi is growing game after game. It's getting better and better every time they enter the server. So if that's the case in the final as well, G2 definitely is going to have their hands full. But I think G2 has enough firepower to deal with Navi.
Now, the craziest part is, if you look at both of these paths into this grand final, there have been some dismemberments of teams that you would probably put over each of these teams. And that is the scariest thing that these teams have in their arsenal.
Yeah, look, that Astralis performance yesterday from Navi, like we said it once, we'll say it again, that is the biggest dismantling of Astralis that has ever happened since Megas joined that roster, right? Then on the other side of things, the way that G2 splashed into the tournament, they made a statement straight away by taking down that of 100 Thieves. You're going into this map right now with Nuke. I think that, look, the CT side of Navi, it's going to come out strong. They're going to ride that momentum from yesterday.
Let's ride this momentum into a joyous occasion, a momentous moment right here as we look at Nuke and we look to crown a champion at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2020. Your first commentary pair is going to be Henry and Alex.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I am just so ready for this one. G2 Esports, NAVI, it's grand finals, and we're in Katowice. No crowd, I don't care. I'll be making all the noise. And we're ready to jump straight into the first round of a best-of-5 final. It could be a marathon. Kenny says this is going to be a long one, Henry. It's time to see if he's right.
I'm so hyped as well, Alex. Here we go then. Some carnage in Katowice, a best-of-5 grand final, and the skill on the server could not be higher. We'll start on the T side for G2 as their map pick. We've got a couple of smokes and the slow entrance towards lobby here. Amanek, he has a P250. He's been boosted towards outside, going to be dropping a flashbang as they make their way towards main entrance. There's the first smoke to take some vision away. And in terms of the CT setup, they're mainly focusing towards the upper bomb site here. Simples towards heaven, Perfecto watching the hut. It's a very passive hold from Navi.
Hunter's been given a lot of freedom, and he'll be crossing towards Secret alongside Amanek. So they hold hands and skip merrily towards the lower side of this map. That Z-axis does cause problems for the CTs. We'll be talking about that a lot throughout this map, so keep your eyes on that. That unknown entity, did they cross, is always a question they'll find themselves asking.
Well, here we go then, and some access towards the lower bomb site. Bear in mind, there are no defuse kits on the Navi side here. They come for 5 sets of Kevlar. That means they need plenty of headshots, but if anything to go by is yesterday, they've got plenty of that in reserve. We will see with 1 minute left on the clock, 1 smoke remaining. Vent presence here. Looks like maybe an upper split from the vent. Simple to open things up.
Oh, and Amanek's going to be jiving straight out of those vents. It's about contact. Simple, keeping him busy. Amanek retreats straight up towards the top side, and he can apply pressure to Boomich. But on the site, he's taken 2 already. Boomich leading by example. A triple kill to start off the grand final, and Navi convert 1-0. We start with a CIS and CT round.
Solid hold there from Navi as Boomich once again, an absolute rock on the bomb side floor. He manages to find 3 kills there, and they didn't stand a chance. He's just ducking and weaving around the silo. You can see he's got his teammate above him in the form of Perfecto as well. He's taking all the covering fire and all the shots coming in his way. No one's even shooting at Boomich at this point. He's enjoying himself out there. It's a big, big start for Navi, and no bomb planted, more importantly for G2. Means it's the full eco here. Just a P250 brought into round number 2. That's about it. And in terms of Navi, they've got a couple of SMGs, knowing the AKs are coming out in the third. Kenny thought about trying to get down the vent, but is quickly dissuaded there by the quick incendiary. As we'll see the first kill potentially come through now. Boomich will be challenged here, maybe in trouble. Amanek, with the only P250 available there, will be dispatched of.
We typically talk about rotting the clock in rounds like this, but it does seem like G2 have other plans and good damage inflicted. Boomich is slight inquisition towards outside, and however, the issue has been fully resolved. There was electronic to respond to the ticket. Tapping away, he even finds Kenny's head before he goes down, so just jacks a Glock and no health. We will see round 2 go the way of Navi, a clean conversion.
Yeah, only 1 player going down. It was one of the rifles, I believe, the FAMAS of Electronic. So that should be recovered at this point. We'll see, though, as MP9's been upgraded. But here come the AK-47s and, of course, those Kriegs as well. They could afford the AWP. Kenny S has exactly enough for an AWP in the 3rd round here. That being glass cannon, though. Might be worth on a map like Nuke, you never know. Here's the replay from Electronic. You'll see plenty of this action. It's a good way to shut down those outside approaches. No AWP spotted. And it will be the AK for Kenny S. And what have G2 got up their sleeve here? It's one of those rounds where they have quite the advantage up against the SMGs. Bonus situation for Navi. Do they want to change things up? Do they want to try and go for a lobby crunch, perhaps? Time will tell as you send 3 players towards outside for G2. Decent grenade to kick things off, though. There's a little bit of damage towards Amanek as they deploy the initial smokes. Hunter gets himself in towards the main roof.
It's interesting that they're conditioning them with the aggressive CT smoke towards red. They're throwing that very early and not using it. Chances are they'll be throwing that later in the piece and putting bodies behind it. It's all about suggestion. Nade off the door and a smoke in response from the CTs. Boomich planning to keep them at arm's reach for another 15. Shaves time off the clock. Plenty where that came from, though.
We saw plenty of ridiculous antics from Flamey towards the ramp from yesterday. The Galil Ace comes to mind. This time with even lesser weaponry. The MP9 in hand. Can't really go for multiple kills there, but getting 1 or 2 and going down would be absolutely ideal. Looks like they're posturing towards the ramp from his Hunter. Waits for an opportunity towards main entrance. There is a player directly beneath him. That's going to be Electronic.
There's no way Electronic doesn't move after that smoke fades. It's Flamey, though. He was phenomenal in holding this position. And for now, this is a good response from G2. Molly off the response from Simple. Boomich, however, has given Navi the opening first blood.
Here we go then. Towards lower they go. Flamey looking to get 1. Manages to stay alive as well. He's still active here. He wants to find a bit more. This is great from Boomich as he'll rotate through. He's absolutely everywhere on the map right now. Jax. He pulls one back with a low HP Flamey as well. He just wants to hide, but he does get another dink off. That's fair enough. They go down to a 3 versus 1. Jax, they know exactly where he is, and Flamey's confirmed that significant damage has been inflicted here. He needs to try and get the bomb down for the extra money here, but won't be able to pull that one off. Goes to the open plant. Bomb goes down, but should be taken care of by Electronic there. Nice round from Navi. That's a massive, massive win. Can't stress that enough. They enter with 2 SMGs. They're going to leave with AK-47s, an M4 as well, and 3 healthy players with residual utility.
MP9s and Navi, we complimented Boomich's long-range bursts. We're seeing Flamey do something similar. These guys have clearly put in the hours necessary to make these cheap weapons pack a punch versus the full buy.
Well, not quite a maximum loss bonus yet, but still another buy available with the bomb going down. It puts them about $4,000 per player. Do they want to fully invest into this one? It doesn't seem to be the case. Desert Eagles, Kevlar being brought out. Here's the replay of Boomich grabbing that first kill towards Hunter. He's going to be instrumental into the success of G2. So nice to keep him shut down, keep him quiet. Trying to close things out. That bomb to get planted, but they choose not to buy. We talked about Amanek 10, and he'll be bringing that out here in round number 4. So outside smoke's available to them. They're going to be looking for a vent dive here, potentially. We'll see if it works out. It's going to be spotted by Boomich, and he takes care of it. No problem whatsoever, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a degree of confidence to go for a fight like that here in the Grand Finals. Wins it cleanly, and already it's looking pretty bleak for the G2 half buy. Losing their one wild card of the Mac 10 armor as well. Amanek's gone already.
Yeah, it was a very nice deep incendiary there. Made sure there was no chance of retreat. A team kill comes through. It's a little bit unfortunate, but they do bring one back at least. Jack's down to 50 points of health. They still have the smoke available. They recover the AK-47. Now, can Kenny S do anything with this? He has got Kevlar to go with it. Ideally, another plan would be great, but that looks unlikely at this stage with Boomich. Once again, just seems to be everywhere on the map. 4-on-1, Kenny S has to try and pick up this bomb now. It's actually down on the ramp, and they're fine to let him recover that. That's not a bomb site, of course. He'll need to go a lot further than this to actually get close to a bomb site.
And the headshot angles from ramp room into low sight is just, it's so punishing. Electronic will connect and find his first of round 4 secured, and yet to see G2 get off the starting mark. Henry, we've cast a lot of nuke over the course of Katowice.
We have.
What's your current read on the T to CT leaning? Because we know previously, like 2019 as it closed out, we were like, holy shit, Shazam, Kriegs are changing this map.
Sure.
But now we have started to see more and more CT sides start to solve this riddle once again.
Yeah, I think it's the variation of the defaults. The outside smokes and the T sides being able to suggest they're going out there with either the deeper smokes towards main entrance and garage or the classic ones towards secret. CTs now are working out how to shut that down. I think Boomich especially has solved that riddle, especially if you look towards that lower bomb site. We've seen it so many times. He'll just watch the angle, hold an incendiary out and buy time. He'll either drop a smoke, drop the incendiary, and just make sure there's rotations available for the CTs. Instead of giving them lower control and scrambling, trying to retake it, you've got one player that can control the whole thing with very useful utility. So that's what it's all about at this point. Boomich is very, very good at it, so watch out for that. As we get into round number 5, we do have a Kenny S AWP. Bear in mind, no helmets. Might have a knock-on effect against these 3 and 4s that are out. It's the outside smokes to be deployed early, though. They are going to try and get Hunter down quickly towards Secret. We'll see if he can make it. CT's throwing the incendiary to block a smoke, but still, it lands. And they'll get a couple of players down here. Potentially, he spots him.
s1mple holds that line. We saw him actually connect yesterday, where he just waits for them to jump across. He's jumping across his teammate's spray, but he gets enough of a cue to put his crosshair in the right place. Not connecting today, and round 5 looking good for the T side. G2 starting to congregate.
So here's the smoke I talked about from Boomich. See, they've got so many numbers down there now, but what do they do with it? They can't push through that smoke. They have to respect it, and now they're going to have to dump utility, not knowing numbers on the other side. Boomich to be tested now. Sees a couple crossover. Did they see him? M4, not the ideal weapon for this job. Going to rotate back towards Squeaky and feign the fact he's gone through the door.
I love it. Mind games, and he's got the frag onto Amanek. Another one perhaps on the chopping block. Flamey, it's a hard shot to hit, and instead his attention drawn between 2 different options. A double kill available for him. But for now, the advantage remains in Navi's hands. G2, they're in no rush, and Hunter, that could be enough of a catalyst. Into the site they flood.
Bomb goes down, s1mple hits. A great shot there. Electronics at the scene of the crime as well. They're starting to flood in towards the lower bomb site. Just Hunter remains, 35 seconds on the clock, and the bomb couldn't be in a worse position for him. Has to try and recover it and fend off 3 angry CTs on the other side. They're playing a very disciplined game as well. They're allowing him to have the bomb, knowing he can't get towards upper, and he needs to get a quick kill here. I think he has s1mple no problem. That's a kill in the back that he should be able to pick up here. He's gone right past him. I can't believe it. He didn't check it. That's insane.
What's going on? Oh, he's going to see him now, and he gets the frag, doesn't rush it. Boomic is on decom with 10 seconds left. If Hunter plays this right, if Boomic overextends, he's going to hold it. And that's a free frag for Navi. Door open. Oh, you rascal, Boomic! Oh, you cheeky monkey. That's another one for Navi.
The mind games from Boomic. He's playing a perfect game. Yeah, he did it twice in one round. They were chasing him towards decon, and he suggested he's gone towards the bomb side there, but opening and closing the door, everyone would assume he's just displaying some self-preservation there. He wants to tuck himself in the side, but no, ready and willing to fight. He does it twice to deny the plant as well. Hunter did a great job to get a few frags here. It was fortunate that didn't come back and bite him in the arse walking past s1mple there, but absolutely fine in the end. 5-0 for Navi. This is looking great, and this is the pick of G2 as well. Bear that in mind.
2 timeouts already. They are burning through them, and that is quite a ridiculous number. Look at the top right of your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Average damage per round, that is what the acronym stands for. 200 from Boomic, and I feel like this is just another day in the what's the expression? Walk in the park?
In the office?
Another day in the office? Yeah, I was combining the two. Another day in the park.
A day in the park.
Another day in the park for Boomic. And I'll tell you now, he has had absolutely zero shift in his performance with this grand final, semi-final, all of that fluff. He doesn't care. He's just there for the victory in game.
Well, I'm glad you asked me as to why Navi's CT side can be so good and how they shut down those outside approaches. It's down to Boomic, honestly. As we go for the vent dive here, Hunter makes it down successfully with the sword-off shotgun, no less. You don't see that too often these days. Bit of a roll back to 2015, and we'll see whether he can make it work. So they'll be aware of a potential drop towards the Vincere, but what's the reaction? In terms of CD presence towards lower, we have got Flamey with the Krieg in hand now. s1mple spots a couple towards the ramp, but he still wants to fight. Of course he does. He'll find 2. Flamey now with the Krieg as well. You know he's going to be able to clean this one up. Bomb goes down in a great position to find another. And Hunter, remember, he was a player that dropped down towards the vent. Don't think he'll be doing much about this situation, I'm afraid. He has 41 HP, and he actually looks better with the Glock in hand than the shotgun.
Yeah, I mean, there is a chance that the M4 could fall into his grasp, but it would be the most ridiculous clear of his career.
Look at the discipline as well from Navi. They're not giving anything up this round, and Electron is guaranteed the frag here. I say that, there might be a second when he sneaks by, spots him, we're good. And it's going to be 6-0. Another clean and calculated round there from Navi. s1mple with a double kill towards the ramp. They didn't recover the AWP, interestingly enough. I guess they want to hold on to the Krieg. They've got plenty of money, so maybe just going to reinvest into the sniper rifle, which they do.
I saw s1mple drop an AWP to pick up a Krieg yesterday, so I think he's got faith in electronic skills, and that's the double kill.
Especially with Flamey. I mentioned this yesterday, right? He plays the ramp, and notoriously one of the most difficult areas to play in CSGO. If you have the Krieg, though, you can challenge one kill. You've got the scope, you can have some range. It makes a lot of sense if Flamey gets that Krieg. G2 need to start waking up now. We've got a Krieg for them in the hands of amanek. AK's out in full force, but they take damage once again at the start. The HE lands in the face of Hunter, and here come the final few smokes. s1mple, though, always seems to grab them as they jump across. This time, not so lucky. 4 players in total going to be making their way towards Secret. And they've done this before, but remember, it's always Boomic that's ready and waiting. He's deployed the same smoke.
He's doing it again.
It cannot progress any further. Before he was on the right, now on the left. And that HE, I've got a feeling that's going to do a boatload of damage. Here we go, Alex. Oh, it's going to hurt a lot. They're trying to run, but you can't. Boomic on the other side. He manages to find the bomb at least. Flamey chiming in as well. Nice spray, but still a 3-on-3 for now.
Electronic keeps the advantage in favor of Navi. Kenny and amanek already a double for the star of the G2 show towards the vents. And so with 60 seconds, they're going to let amanek try and draw CT attention elsewhere. He would. It's very unlikely he takes this fight dry. You can see he's just going to be posturing. A flashbang out the door, keeping attention that way. Now the cross. Gosh, s1mple does not miss again. And another double kill to connect for s1mple. 7-0. And that's 12 frags for Boomic. I want to keep track of that because he has given Navi the momentum to start off map 1.
G2 are yet to find an opening frag, Alex, and we're going into round number 8. How kind of nuts is that? It sets the tone for this grand final, to say the very least. People are speculating as to whether Navi could turn up to a similar level we saw yesterday. Well, it seems like a resounding yes has been found, at least so far. 7-0, another eco for G2 at this point. A partial buy, if you will, with the Desert Eagles and armor. They have 1 smoke and an HE. amanek with the MAC-10 once more, but a much slower pace round here. Navi have barely broken a sweat. They look like they're having fun out there.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a grand final from the pressure when you cut to the Navi players. It's all smiles and, of course, understandably so. 7-0. This was G2's map pick. It was always a question of who would choose to take it to Dust 2. Navi have been unfazed picking the map for G2. That will be the second. And, ooh, Kenny does manage to find A return keeps things level for a moment, but it could very well just be a moment. s1mple misses a shot.
You don't say that too often. And he's going to try and make up for it now. A little overzealous there, perhaps, but Boomic is there to pick up the pieces. This guy is having one hell of a tournament, I have to say. Every single situation, he plays it so well. It's perfecto to close things out there. They'll keep 3 players up and recover the AWP, just to note that. Boomic is on the M4. He's currently 15-3 right now. The in-game leader fragging out of his mind.
I think Boomic was scrolling through VK last night and he saw a thread. It said, Nexa best fragging in-game leader. He just woke up with a man on a mission. My goodness, look at him go.
Third kill is nuts. Kenny S gets his clock cleaned there. And we'll get into round 9.
How often do you clean your clock?
Quite often, actually. You know, grandfather clock at home. I like to make sure it's well-oiled, well-lubricated.
Yeah, I clean mine every day in the shower.
We get into another Kenny S AWP. Like I said, they haven't found any opening frags yet. Next, have yet to find a single frag. 0 and 8 for him. Kenny goes towards the silo this time. A little bit awkward in the movement, but trying to set himself up for this smoke. Just going to be probing towards outside. He knows there's a chance that the orb's going to be moving around. s1mple for now. On the CT side of things, a little bit more defensive, watching for the cross. Smoke towards Squeaky.
Hunter's in a position to be, I imagine, throwing a late outside smoke.
They are all throwing their smokes at this point, so they've had enough of it being very telegraphed at the start of the round. They're making this look more like a set piece at this point. This could be the fake. This could be where they send one player there. You can see a few of them moving towards lobby after the smokes are thrown, so it is a variation. We talk about that. So Almanac will be given the solo task of going towards Secret, force a rotation down towards lower, and I assume they either go towards ramp or go for an upper explosion here. The bomb is going to be recovered by Almanac. This is a complete fake. They haven't sent anyone outside at all.
And he's just, you can see he's not even looking at his monitor. He is simply waiting for the call. One word.
That's a smoke towards heaven, I assume. And we'll see whether that's going to work out for them. It's an upper execution. Molotov towards the HUD as well. They're flashing in, and here they come.
Oh, the molly is so good. Look at them. Perfecto, s1mple. They're burning, but s1mple through the fire and flames. He finds his Dragon Force, only the first. And so, 3 versus 4 at this point. Nexa does get cut down to a scrap of health, but still functional. Kenny down to 39, bomb in top site. Could this be G2's first round of the Grand Finals?
We know they're one of the most hard-working teams in CSGO right now. That was a beautiful execution. The suggestion of the outside play removes a player from the upper bomb site. The Molotovs, the flashbangs, nothing could be done. They find an early Molotov kill. As we get into the 3 versus 4, there is plenty of money here for Navi, but it doesn't look like necessarily going for the round victory, just trying to hold them in towards the bomb site, and Flamey might have found them an opening here. It is going to be Boomic, bringing it back to the 2 versus 2, down he drops, and Flamey now in the 1 versus 1. He might have a chance in this. We'll see what he can do, as he'll actually have to just nade towards Squeaky, touch the bomb, hope for the best here. He's going to take one hell of a shot. The close things out! Has he actually pulled it off? I don't think he has. It's too far gone. That's one hell of an effort. It's not going to work out, but still a smile on his face. It's a statement of a round regardless. It didn't look like they stood a chance, but still, they take all 5 players down. It's a hollow victory at best for G2.
Kenny can't even get an AWP, dude. I don't even know if he can get an AWP into his hands. He just had it snatched from by Flamey. Let's see the full execution again. So Molly on towards the hut, Flamey 10 HP, s1mple the same, and you can see just down to the wire. He wasn't far off. He gets the kit, he gets the AWP, and wallbang from the one tracer shot from Kenny.
Yeah, it's difficult to fist bump after those ones. You know, we've been absolutely wrecked financially. They still have enough for the AK-47s. A 3 coming through. This is breaking point now for both sides. Whoever wins this round will be sending their opposition to the doldrums. s1mple holding towards the fence. We saw Cirque with some absolutely insane action there with the sniper rifle. It's not the same play. He's actually repositioning, going towards Secret. The first time we've seen s1mple there allows it to be more combative towards T-Red and, of course, the silo position. And that's exactly where we're going to find Amanek, I believe. So Hunter will be up there as well. And at this point, s1mple doesn't overcommit.
I feel like we're saying Navi or Navi player doesn't commit a whole lot on their CT side. There is a newfound restraint to this roster.
They're looking at the bigger picture. They're not overstepping the mark, especially when they have advantages as well. We talk about every kill, especially in the modern game with this new finance system. I say new. It's difficult to justify giving up even a single frag, as we'll see them cross over. There is a bit of a gap there. I don't think Electronic was aware of it. And he'll let them cross over, but the big man's waiting for them. The big bad wolf of CSGO, holding towards his secret steps. You know he's going to nail one of these and get the hell out of there. Holds a more defensive line. Do they dare challenge him again?
With a huff and a puff. He's already blown one down. Jack's gone. It does seem like that could be enough to deter G2. They're changing their plans on the fly. s1mple sending them towards Electronics domain. We call them the duo, and you can see why. Just between them, rock and a hard place. The new names for Navi's duo, because again, an advantage for Navi, and only 18 seconds for the rest of these Frenchmen to make this round a reality.
That's such a good point. What are you going to do here? You've got 10 seconds, you know, near a bomb site. Aminex is going to have to make a load of noise here, flashing as his teammates get ready towards main, but there's so many areas to check. A good effort here so far. 4 seconds, no chance for a plant. They made the best of it, Alex, I have to say, but once again, the change of positions there, Simple, so confident to hold that line, and you can see they've got a real answer to the outside plays here. I want to see more set pieces from G2. That worked really nicely. The fact you were getting Molotov kills, flashing them off, that, to me, that's where you got to go. You're not making any ground towards lower whatsoever. The ramp pushes towards Flamey aren't working out. Simple is in your head. I want to see set pieces now. Take the time out. That's what's worked out for them. But the problem is, Alex, we said, if they didn't win that round, money was destroyed. The round they did win, all 5 players go down. It leaves them about $3,000 going into round number 11 here. And they're 9-1 down in their map pick. They haven't turned up to this grand final so far.
Henry, G2 have 1 opening duel success in 10 rounds of play
Not
here.
a good stat you want to hear. Not against this Navi.
And certainly not on the T side of Nuke. So many opportunities, but every single one of them has landed flat. Malik, it's his turn. His 3rd attempt, by the way. That's 3 timeouts in 10 rounds on our opening map of this grand final. That's G2 flustered. There's no doubt about it. Everything points towards it. And this round should be the 10th for Navi. Very little G2 can say about it. A couple of Desert Eagles thrown towards the brawn of Navi.
CZs. P250, no nades. Another grim outlook here for G2. Bomb waiting towards T-spawn as Electronic. He's ready and waiting for a few more duels. This guy really has had a rise to notoriety in the last 6 months. It's amazing how good he's got. He said at one point he thinks he can be better than Simple. I think there's an argument to be made that he could do that. Everyone on Navi right now is just looking unstoppable.
And I mean, you know, I'm always a sucker for an underdog. I think that happens as soon as you have a British birth certificate.
Of course.
Support the underdog. But Perfecto, just seeing the fact that, you know, it wasn't, what, 6 months ago I was casting him at the Berlin Minor for Simon
So
Gaming,
funny. Yeah.
and he's now in the grand final of Katowice. It's just gorgeous, and it's Counter-Strike at its very best.
Nice work from Simple. It normally would overcommit to that one. Wait to the back to come in. And the meat grinder is looking very efficient today. It absolutely destroys G2 at that point. And I like that from Simple. He could have gone down there. He could have gone for another swing, but he falls back. He brings them towards the rifles at that point. Another very clean round. Demoralizing for G2 at this point. Perfect positioning just as the HE lands in the middle of all of them as well. They barely inflict any damage towards the CT defense. As we have a full buy now, running out of time in this first half. On your own map pick, if you're only getting one round in the first half, things are going to be difficult to recover.
You can work with 10-5, 110%.
Yep.
But this is so crucial. Look at Kenny, knife out. He's planning to take a duel. We could see Kenny versus Simple or Kenny versus Nade. Shrapnel lodged in his G2 esports jersey. He won't be able to find Simple just yet over the periphery of the smoke-only line towards Heaven. Simple opting for a little lower of an angle, and so 3 members of G2 forge a path towards Secret.
Simple looking towards those smokes for now. Doesn't know how many players have made it down exactly, but we talk about Boomage here again. Same smoke, same outcome. It's going to be Electronic down there this time. He's got the AK-47 in hand. That really does scare me for G2. That guy is an absolute animal with the AK. Doesn't miss many. Jax cowers in the corner here, waiting for CT aggression. How long can they wait at this point? What's happening elsewhere on the map? We have got Nexa getting ready towards the ramp room. He's hoping they push towards the lobby, hunt for some information. They are hoping they could actually maybe show enough down towards lower bomb site, push someone towards squeaky door. Not going to happen so far. Here comes Electronic, spots one, jumps up, falls back. You can see the call being made as well, letting them come to him.
This looks so good. They're throwing the same nades they did for their top execute. It's finally fooling Navi. 35 seconds, bomb towards the lower site, and Electronic has to hold it. Oh, the flash, perfect from Kenny.
Bomb down.
But that's the bomb, and Flamey has the hold. He has to get in, though. Boomich is already drawing more blood, and with 25 seconds, this is all on Jax. His back turned, and that was the best chance we've seen in so many rounds, and it's stolen by Navi.
instead of taking the jewels, they're working together. They're falling back to crossfires and just establishing such strong foundations across the map. It's very smart right now. It's all about that smoke towards Secret. G2 either need to get braver and just push through that smoke, because as soon as they get locked off there and there's 4 players, the rotations come through. Players like Electronic and Boomich get set up, and you're not stopping them at this point. s1mple watching the flanks as well. This is a nightmare. Go back to the executions. That's where you got your round. As we'll see them go to number 13 here. An upper rush through the squeaky door. Is it going to be the same sort of result? It looks like it will be, Alex. 2 more go down. The bomb to be dropped. It's a 5-on-3 before we can even get going in the round here. And that should be 12-1.
Oh my goodness. I thought the Navi game yesterday was something you would not see for the rest of the year. A team all hitting their individual stride, their individual peak at the same time versus Astralis. Everything suggested that this would not happen again. And yet here we stand, 12-1 to start the grand final.
Boomich is 24 kills and 5 deaths, and we've played 13 rounds at this point. That is absolutely insane. Oh my God. His ADR is at 187. He hasn't really missed an opportunity as of yet. Every shot he's taking just seems to be landing. They're not even firing back at this point. They're not in this game.
He's having so much fun. I mean, to be fair, you know, think about the human element. He's grown up watching Navi play Counter-Strike. He's aspired to do it. He's climbed the ranks for many years. I've seen Boomich and his fledgling years at the Katowice gone. The qualifiers for Katowice, no less. And now he's in the finals, and Boomich doing it again, this time versus the full buy. A taste of the flamey treatment from yesterday, a triple kill, bomb in his grasp, and there's nothing that G2 can say about it. In the first 20 seconds, the round is lost.
Boomich is now 7-0 in opening duels. Like, he hasn't gone down, he absolutely nails it every single time. 3 more added to his death count as we continue to see this marvelous play. s1mple, he knows there's a chance Kenny has to look for the tiny little hole that's created in the door there, as he will be deploying a Molotov. Gives up his position at least, hoping that CT will be close range towards there. s1mple fires off a shot. Kenny, he'll answer back. Bigger hole now. It's just a bit of a mind game at this point, but s1mple, he'll always be winning those by the looks of things here. And a knife kill. Okay, Amanek, that's something, I suppose. But now the 2 versus 1 ends in its logical conclusion. Another fast approach from G2. Big spray down from Boomich, and we go 13-1. Let's close out the execution, boys. The one that worked. The outside smokes, the Molotov's down. They've only tried that once, and it's got them around.
You're right. You're absolutely bang on. I mean, we talked about the frag and in-game leaders. We'll keep coming back to it, but at the moment, the contrast could not be any more hilarious. Between the 2 leaders in this grand final, we have Boomich on, let me get a double check on that, 27, Nexa on 1. But they are both ends of the polar opposites of the spectrum right now, Henry.
They've just stabbed each other in spawn as well. So Nexus just got stabbed in spawn by a teammate. You really don't like to see it. Ramp rush.
And the nade lands!
Let's go, boys. Let's get another ace for Flamey! He's doing it all over again. Can he close things out in style? What a half this has been so far. Amanek is trying to deny it, but Flamey wants blood.
Amanek, 1v5, he's gone as well. Of course, it's Boomich. Did he get the 30? Close, but not quite. 28 for Navi's in-game leader, and a flawless defense. 14-1 map 1. The grand final delivers in one way. Let's see if G2 can in another when we return.
No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, get back your back now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you. Take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine. Show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster. Gotta get better. Gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now. Getting it up now. Go with the move, go for the goal. Lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up. Go what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. Go what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. I feel it inside. I'm reaching my stride. I'm standing my ground. I won't give in.
Counter-Strike brains around the world were concerned for G2 for map 2, Dust 2, where Navi dominated yesterday. It looked like a map that they have had absolutely no fear in picking, and yet already in map 1, G2 stare down the barrel of a 14-1.
Yeah, you're absolutely dead on there. Nuke, I wasn't too worried about. I know Navi can play it very efficiently, but their home map, I would say, is Dust 2. That's where this playstyle really works out for them.
I'm concerned.
I'm very concerned, Alex, but it all starts here. There is a chance for G2. You can never write them out on the CT side of Nuke. It's their pick for a reason. They do have to win this pistol. I normally say it'd be a nice luxury. At this point, it's must win. You can't go map point in round number 1 of the second half, and we'll see what they can do here with a couple of flashes. The C set available. First kill for Electronic though. Kenny S is dropped, and don't shoot your teammates in the face. Shoot the enemy. That's more like it. Flamey will adjust, and you can see a big smile on his face, but maybe not for long. Nexa will pull one back, and Jaxno rotating, looking towards lower. Needs some headshots here. They haven't really got going at all. Jackson 6 kills and 15 deaths. He's probably near the top. He absolutely is. Top fragger so far. Speaking of which, s1mple! He gets it done. Slam dunk toward the secret steps, and that's going to be the round.
s1mple's on Google Flights. Fast flights to flat France. He can't find a faster way to send G2 home. My God. That's the end of that. 15-1. Call it done and start thinking about Dust 2. G2 would have to go for an unheard of comeback at this point to start off this grand final. It certainly would live up to the prefix should they do it, but it just seems like too tall of an order. They're asking for a venti, extra cream.
Oh my goodness. I love that from Flamey. This gives his team a little love tap in the face. It's too easy for us right now. I'm going to take you down to half HP, then I'll start killing them. Don't worry about it. It's all under control.
And in contrast, Nexa got stabbed by his teammate and caught a nade.
In the last round as well, just when he's having the roughest game of his career right now, 2-16. He gets stabbed in the back in that last round. But either way, this could be the final round here of the first map of our best of 5. A quick one to say the very least. 15-1 right now. We've got scouts, pistols, MP9s, a UMP up against the 3 rifles here. Navi, they seem to have found more discipline as time goes on in this tournament, and it's really shining at this point. Electronic, a bit of a master towards lower. Jaxto got his number. Alex still believing.
We need to see more of that Jax precision. He has done some of the most ridiculous things. One of my favorite players to watch, alongside Hunter for their crosshair placement, just individually, mechanically, god tier, and yet made to look like fools here on the first map of our grand finals. Good damage inflicted by Hunter. Speak of the devil, let's see if he can live up doing that devilish tag. He does have the support of Nexa. This crossfire, if they get it right, attention now drawn towards main. Oh, but s1mple, he stood his ground. He played it so well, but with the flash and the MP9, bomb is loose. G2, a necessary win, and Nexa, he's just doubled his kills in the round and more. A quad kill from Nexa, a necessity as they survive for one more round.
They keep the dream alive. It's going to take 13 rounds in a row. At this point, though, I've said this so many times while commentating these sort of games. When you know you've got a long series ahead of you, this isn't a best of 3. This isn't. This is a marathon, not a sprint, right? You want to try and get warmed up. You want to see, even though you know you've probably lost this map, take every round you can get. Take the wind out of their sails. Don't let them feel like they completely crushed you. If you can bring this back to a 16-5, 16-6, just have some convincing rounds under your belt, it's enough to get warmed up and just shake this one off.
Get them flustered. Get them wondering, you know, get reminded what it feels like to not know what to do, because that's how G2 certainly have felt. They've had their fair share of those feelings in the opening half of our first map. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a best of 5. If you're enjoying this already, strap yourselves in. Anders and Moses pulling you through Dust 2 next. Get your friends involved. Counter-Strike, we're going to be crowning a new champion of Katowice. It's only been 3 teams to lift the trophy here in the Spodek, a legacy tournament. Kenny, he's still hungry for some damage in this first map. Boomich, though, just plodding straight into... Oh! The head of Jax just rolls, and he's looking for Kenny. Boomich, this is just ungodly, unsanitary. Wash your hands. 30 frags, round 18. Nexa will silence him, but still a 2v2. Excuse me, 3 players standing for G2.
Well, that should be it. The fact they've removed the AWP, they should have no problem dealing with s1mple and Perfecto here. I say that with bated breath, though. s1mple is heading towards heaven. Perfecto, T-lobby. There's a player towards Squeaky Door. That's Amanek. Nice positioning from Nexa. That should secure things now. Perfecto, 4 kills to his name. He hasn't really had a chance to find much more than that. Amanek to close things out. This was the force buy, remember, from Navi. So a full eco coming up next. G2 has a chance to stabilize at least, getting their heads in this grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. Powerful from Nexa as well. I'll remind you, he came into this half with 2 frags, now already 8, just 3 rounds in. I mean, this is a lovely shot from Boomich. He gets the second. You notice his movement. He knows he's up against the sidearm of Kenny, just wants to keep it dynamic, not let 2 consecutive bullets connect. And he has just found this air of confidence against the world's best. If Boomich can maintain this, I fear for anyone stepping into the ring versus Navi today. Should be a freebie. This should be the 4th for G2. Should being the operative word. What the hell was that? Boomich already gets 1, but it does seem like Amanek has no issues confirming the round is theirs. 5 frags in quick succession and a good distribution as well for the SMGs. That's $600 a pop.
I like the temperament from Malik as well. He's trying to keep morale high, clapping for every kill, and making sure they keep their heads in the game. He knows how long this grand final is going to be. Navi in impeccable form once again. I didn't think it could be replicated from yesterday, but here we are, 15-4 as we enter round number 20 coming up next. This is going to be a pretty decent buy. Boomich, of course, using the Glock to great effect. He's got himself 31 kills.
Burst fire, no less, by the way.
Fire, yep.
I would be furious if this man is opening Squeaky and Glock burst firing me. Oh, with a full buy. A moment of peace. Waiting for the Molotov, and you can see Navi's outside smoke lands in perfect unison with it. Electronic to push, Kenny to hold. And now, yes, it's a 5v5, but we're interested in the duel and Electronic.
Ouch.
He wins it out. Big start for Navi.
You can see the difference in angle there. s1mple was holding a much tighter line, so he could take the shot and survive. Kenny was in a much more committed position, and Electronic, he doesn't miss many. Just absolutely beautiful towards lower. That Krieg is a weapon of mass destruction in his hands. 5-on-3, Hunter's low. Next up, he knows he needs to hit this shot. Good grenade, but they exchanged them. Boomich will drop down. 30 kills to his name, wants to join his teammates at this point. Drops smoke towards main entrance. 50 seconds here. Is this where they close it out? It looks likely.
It looks like a main and secret collaboration. As I say that, Electronic has other plans. They know there's only 3 members of G2 left, and so they're in absolutely no hurry, waiting for a member of G2 to just step a toe out of line.
Well, they need to react at this point. Nexus made the call. They're going to push towards lobby, isolating Hunter here. He's a very strong player, but Boomich, he's just playing on another level at this point. He takes another one down, 5 versus 2. Nexa and Amanek both towards the lobby position. They've both been spotted now. Bomb going down. One more kill would secure it, to be honest with you. No utility on the Navi side. A chance to give this one up. Can't save the weapons here, boys. You've got to go for it with just one kit and damage inflicted, but kill by kill. They're getting back into it now. Through the squeaky door they go.
Kit on Nexa. It's going to be crucial, and it's been taken away from him. Pushing in. Amanek falls. It's confirmed. A 16-4. Navi, I don't think anybody expected to see semi-final form again here in the grand finals, but map 1 is a good indication that they have managed to trap that lightning in a bottle.
Yes, they absolutely have. Boomage, the MVP of that map. What an absolute monster. 30 kills to his name, managing just to run over them time and time again on the pick of G2 no less as well. It does not set the tone well for G2 going forward as we go to Dust 2, a home map for Navi at this stage. I don't know what's going to happen there, but G2 need to wake up. We'll take a break and be back with the analyst desk very shortly.
Take it, yeah. Reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
Well, the first map of this series started and finished almost in that order as quickly as it possibly could. We're going to see a very dominant side right now from Navi. They look like they have all of the answers, and especially a player known as Boomage. Now, we've got Chad on Telestrator, and he's going to be breaking down some of his actions.
Yeah, well, Boomage basically destroyed this game plan of G2 in the very early stages here of this map. So we're going to jump into Skybox and break some stuff down for you. We saw a lot of the wall smokes from G2. Pretty standard, right? They want to throw these yard smokes. You're going to see it. They're going to cross over towards Secret. I showed you some highlights yesterday, of Navi stopping them before they could get under, well, they had a different approach this time around, and that name coming to mind was Boomich, dropping towards that lower site and throwing that smoke that Henry and Machine were highlighting round after round. So we're going to drop to this POV so you can see the action going down. Boomich will drop that smoke. This rotation coming in right here from G2 has to respect it. You never want to be running through a smoke into that lower bomb site. But in this round particularly, Boomich is actually going to have Flamey drop lower as well. So they're going to have two guys who are going to be able to defend this lower bomb site. Now, I'm going to show you a second clip after to show you why this is possible. But this time around, they do an assertive play. They nade through. They push the smoke. Everything's good. Let me show you why they can rotate two players to the lower bomb site. We're going to flick over now to this POV. And this is where Electronic and Simple are hugely important. So what I want to focus on in the early stages of this round here is Electronic, who's going to be playing this main position. Oh, let's do this, sorry. He's going to be here in main. And what he's looking at is the cross towards warehouse. He can make sure that no players are able to get around to ladder, which means they can drop more players lower. Then what we can focus on is going to be Simple. The camera is about to move for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Simple, he's going to come top. He's going to throw a smoke. He's going to help out Perfecto, who can now solo top side, and then go over and babysit ramp. So they've basically just moved their puzzle pieces around with that information and been able to destroy G2's rotations and hedge their bets towards that lower bomb site, making their life very, very easy, Trace.
Yes, making it look simple, even if you might want to go that route with it, Jacob.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous from Navi one more time. We questioned ourselves yesterday if that game against Navi, or sorry, that game against Astralis was a fluke. I think after this one, it's safe to say that Navi is here to win the entire tournament. Navi really showed up yesterday, and they're playing some of the best Counter-Strike that we probably have ever seen Navi play in history of that brand. So just to touch on Boomich as well, 9 in 9 for opening duels, right? 9 multi-kills. He finished with 32 kills in such a short game. I believe, without knowing this is true, 2.58 rating as per 2HLTV. That gotta be the highest rating a single player has ever had in a grand final of this caliber. That was absolutely outstanding for Boomich, and probably something that we have never ever seen in history of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So we really gotta appreciate that.
161.7 ADR. What
Yeah.
the hell's that all about,
Yeah,
Chad?
just another manhandling, right? I think it's insane that they can come out and do this. Just before we got into the game, I was talking about the fact that Navi gets started on that CT side, right? And that's where you want your individuals of this caliber to be starting. But I didn't expect a half like that. I didn't expect them to shut them out in that regard. Now, I think if you are that of G2, you can shake that off pretty easy. You start a T-side nuke. There's probably a couple of those grand final nerves. These rookies, right? They're going into Dust 2. It's the map they played the most, you know? I'm interested to see. I think they can bounce back.
Yeah, they're going to have to look to bounce back. Nuke is certainly done with, and we have Navi on the sides with Frankie. What do they got to say?
I'm with a man that it's always lovely to meet, although I wouldn't want to encounter him on a ramp. Flamey, how did you get so good at that role on their CT half?
I think after game versus FaZe, they abused myself, and I played really bad. I discussed with our coach and just said to myself that I'm playing not that good and I should play better than this and I should rotate better. Now after talk, it worked against Astralis and now again.
Yeah, with the Krieg. He was just saying to me, oh, it was only a 4K. What a shame, Flamey. Now, tell me about the discipline in the team, because we're used to Navi being able to go off on their own, but today, your CT half, very restrained. Tell me about the game plan.
We discussed like 3 hours today what we're gonna do against them, and of course it's 5 maps, so we did try to discuss all 5, but we did good work on nuke, and especially on CT side, our communication was so good, you know, and everything worked. Like everyone played out of their mind, and especially Boomich, he was like 29-6 first half, so it's kind of easier to play when the guy play like this.
And how good is it feeling on the team on that stage right now?
We're feeling really great, yeah, but it's still not over, and it's a lot of maps ahead, so we need to be more focused and win.
Okay, well, good luck on Dust 2. Thank you so much, Flamey. Let's head back to the desk.
Yes, the Flame Dog already recognizing what it is that's going on here. Boomich is getting him out the way, and we're going to be going ahead and getting this break out of the way so we can continue our grand final. This best of 5 marches on, and Navi are looking hot to trot. We'll be right back after this break, everybody.
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best, my average, there's a reason for that's a fact, so they snapping back, mad at the fact.
This is your chance to rise, a chance to prove yourself to the world. Because when passion leads the dream, this is not just a game anymore. This is the ESL One Rio Major Championship.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
For them, to simply exist is not enough. They must strive for more. They risk everything to build a legacy, just to have it torn down. Many have tried to reach the unobtainable, but only a few achieve greatness. They have many names. We call them stars. Euronics, a human touch in a digital world.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause stop, we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. I think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause stop, we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. It's just the way we live. We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause stop, we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We're grown-up kids.
I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, Vodafone, and Euronics.
G2 Esports, Navi right here pitted against one another for a grand final. And of course, for the grand final, we're doing things a little bit differently. In this moment, I'm going to introduce to you the commentators coming in to take the place of that of Machine and Henry. Of course, you guys are alternating maps. Anders, how do you feel about that setup?
I feel amazing. Dust 2 is going to be, you know, obviously the next map, but I can't wait to get into this. Luckily, no, Dust 2 at least Navi didn't beat the best team in the world on that recently, or maybe they did. Oh, no.
Maybe they did. Listen, I'm just excited for this Navi team because they look like a team that is confident in how they're playing at the moment, of where they're headed, but also a team that's playing loose enough because they know they still have so much more work to go. So I think it's a really cool combination and obviously playing well.
So no favorites here, but who do you got winning, Jason?
I curse teams, so I don't do that anymore.
Nice, that's pretty fair. We'll get back to you guys. We need to do our own little chat over here. We need to have our own little discussion. And moreover, I think I'm going to start with you, Jacob. What are some of the things that you think that perhaps G2 need to work on going into this next map?
I feel they need to work a bit on the communication, the aim, the map awareness, the positioning, basically every single aspect of the game, right? There's a little bit of a problem when you're G2. The game we just saw on Nuke, I think Chad was onto something when he said it, right? They started T-side on Nuke. It's the first grand final. There's a lot of new players on that lineup who's never been in a situation like that before. So let's discount the result. Let's just say that Navi are leading 1-0 now.
That was the show match.
Yeah. That was the show match. That was the warm-up. Now we get to see the real business. You said it yourself. You wanted and you expected firework on Dust 2 because both of these teams are in contention for being the best Dust 2 team in the world as of right now.
Chad, one might even ask the simple question, is this live yet? Like, are we live?
It is. It could be live, and maybe Ocelot, the owner of G2 there, has said to his boys, look, I want you to replicate that final we had over there in that little game called League of Legends, the World Championship of 2019, where they got dumpstered by FPX. Maybe the Counter-Strike team are trying to do it better. Maybe they're trying to get beaten harder. But look, jokes aside, this here, it should be clean slate, okay? Now we're going into a map which, you know, G2, they've been playing, sure, they have a couple of losses in this tournament, but it's a map where they're going to be much more comfortable. It's going to give a lot more room for their individuals to warm into the game, to take more fights, not going to be pushed around like what Boomich just did to them then, because Boomich just destroyed them, right? That is what happened. He derailed their entire game plan. Nothing that they could do, it just wouldn't work. They were running into the big man himself. Now, as we move forward, I think that this is going to be a closer affair. I still think Navi are going to win, but I think G2 might give us a couple more rounds at least.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at least making this competitive. G2 have got to bounce back. We're going to Dust 2. We do know that both of these teams can have a little bit of a brawl or have a little bit of a party of their own on this map. But when we look at this, is G2 going to have more bite, Jacob?
I hope so. I hope they're going to be able to make it competitive. When you look towards Navi, you see a team that is full of confidence right now. You need to see G2 step it up. They need to shut down some of those Navi players. The problem is that it's every single player right now, except for Perfecto, I guess. From that Nuke match, he didn't really do much. He wasn't needed to, you know. So G2, they got to step up as players. Kenny has got to step up. They got to shut down s1mple. We saw yesterday how much confidence he's playing with. And, you know, we talk about it a lot up here. Confidence is probably one of the biggest factors when it comes to Counter-Strike and when it comes to feeling the game. So if Navi keeps on producing the same amount of confidence they've had the past 3 maps they played, 2 against Astralis, this one against Nuke, against G2, then I don't see G2 turning this one around. It has to require a miracle. Right now, G2, they're bleeding.
Yes, the miracle on Dust 2 is what we're going to be looking forward to. Navi putting a hurt on G2 and its fans. Even Ocelot probably is wheeling in that one. Didn't really feel too good now, did it? We're going to jump into Dust 2 and the shot for G2 to bounce back. We're going to be doing it with Anders and Moses.
Yes, thank you to the desk, and we're going to get right into the game here. Navi and G2, second map of the grand finals here, Intel Extreme Masters. Jason, how are you feeling about this game? It's going to be live in a second.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm wondering, I mean, this has got to be the best start to a grand final for a young player such as Perfecto. It feels like he hasn't even had to play in the grand final yet. He had such an easy map watching the rest of his teammates just take the wheel on Nuke. Here on Dust 2, G2's going to have to recover. We're going to have to see that op of Kenny S ringing out across the map. Hunter and Nexa need to deliver. I want to see more from Jax as well. At this point for G2, you're looking for someone to lead the way, at least in the early stages. And now we're live into the second map, and it's Navi starting on the T side.
Kenny with a little bit of aggression. I actually love this. It's obviously a risk, but you want to try and change the pace from that first map absolutely right off the bat here. Don't give them a chance to get rolling. Don't give them that good feeling back again. Jax tries to snipe it away, but he's going to stick around at least for a minute. Still that smoke is up, so he's a little bit safe and no one jumping on the box. But as it's fading, he's very worried about someone sitting inside. I mean, I love what Alex was saying in that first map about, you know, Navi not being able to replicate that semifinal from yesterday, and then they went and did exactly that to everyone's surprise, but surely not for a third map here. That would be outrageous.
Well, they have so many players who can pick up the slack and lead them into that start of a domination, that start of a snowball. Here we go. G2 is going to start taking a delayed long control. They want to control this portion of the map. It's only Flamey here. This is the main hit. And Kenny, he's going to be stuck on an island all alone. Utility ringing out, and here's the attack from Navi. They want to take this battle at range, and Kenny S going to come out on top with the first. They've stalled him out at the corner. Navi cannot pass, cannot move forward until s1mple gets into the action.
Well, that long push, though. Flamey, huge kill. That traps Jax alone. The backstab is in now on Moy, and he turns. A nice headshot coming through as Flamey goes down. That might have done it here. 2-on-3. They're low on health for the Navi side. Even with the bomb plant, they're in a bit of trouble. Boomich immediately shut down, but Electronic will steal it back. Absolute robbery. They should not have been winning that. As soon as Boomich goes down, he was the only one with any health left, and they just sweep it away.
Oh, no, they were both focused on the catwalk player, and Electronic pounces. And actually, oddly enough, I mean, a nice win for Electronic with that double kill. You're right, this flank is what turned everything around, trapping Jax. But even Electronic right at the end, after a victory like that, having some words for Perfecto, maybe talking through some kind of a mistake. I'm just trying to get him a bit more focused on the action. 1-0 for Navi.
That one kill for Flamey coming out long. It's a nice reminder, a good illustration of, you know, it's not always the amount, it's not always the speed or the genius behind it. It's just, you know, taking the attention away, and suddenly you could just see the panic.
Well, also, that miraculous kill from Jax being able to spin, that's a kill that you only see in that kind of a situation. That rarely happens. Like, even that miraculous of a kill can't bring the round back in their favor. So, a desperate situation. Kenny S with a deagle, no armor. He wants that AWP in play as soon as possible, as soon as the guns come out.
Kenny set up with the deagle, might be getting a free kill. They almost just walked straight into it. Grenade to follow it up. Pretty decent, actually tags a bunch of people. And again, that all helps in a round like this. Navi, I mean, they never let their foot off the pedal on that first map on Nuke. If G2 can stall them out here, if they can, you know, slow them down a bit, get some more kills in play, it all counts, it all matters at the end. Kenny trying to see if he can play around the smokes that Navi have just put up on the catwalk right in front. Excellent shot with the deagle. He's going to turn for it, and they're still out there. They're spamming through, and they'll catch him eventually. There's so many bullets coming his way. One of them was bound to connect. They're still waiting up there, and the smoke is going to be fading soon. Nice shot from Jax. He nearly took down s1mple. Can he do it one more time? He's doing so much damage, and there's a double grenade taking down s1mple and Electronic, and G2. They found a way into this second round so early on.
Yeah, they've pretty much won this. 15 seconds. I don't think Boomich has the ability, and he's just going to have to probably save this Mac 10, although Jax is dropped down. Another kill for him, 2 in the round. Between Kenny and Jax transferring over to the railing, they used Navi's smoke wall against him. Kenny was able to use it. Jax was able to use it to cross over the long gap. And again, I mean, just like the pistol round, Navi, they have to be careful when they attack this part of the map. They're getting stalled out frequently in that same location, right at the corner, right at the boxes. They've had a tough time passing in these opening 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think that's really worth watching out for. They obviously feel confident in taking those fights, but I agree, they probably should have lost the pistol round for the same stall. Hope they don't do it a third time here. Flashbangs being traded over the wall over at long, a wide swing. That's an amazing amount of distance for Boomich to run, and none of his teammates are there behind him to pick up the slack. The fact that he makes it that far on, I mean, there should have been like 2 or 3 more people fighting G2 out there. So a little bit of a messed up timing, I think, for Navi to take the swing.
Well, G2 is very fortunate. Their two rifle players at long got caught together. Or, excuse me, Nexa has the MAC-10, but they almost grouped up exactly for that. And Kenny has got to be so worried behind that car that could get spammed through. Even with the smoke there, not providing a whole lot of cover, but he's got the scout. And just looking down, making himself as small as possible, and it's not going to work. Not for the whole time. And G2, in the interest of the overall goal of winning the round, had to just abandon Kenny S. They had to let him fall. 2-1.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, it's not really an issue, I think.
It's the right call.
Yeah, it's just a scout anyway. You won't be that sad to see it go. And I think all of these early rounds, I don't know, when you lose that quickly on a map and it's a best-of-5 grand finals, I could see you sort of trying to shake it off pretty quickly, and you might even be successful in doing that. But if you can get off to a better start here in the second map, that's going to help you so much. That'll make the real difference in the end, I believe. Hunter down, pushing with the MAC-10. Again, I like this. I really want G2 to reclaim a little bit of dignity and confidence in this map early on, and then we'll see how it goes. Just try and see if you can...
Especially around 2, I mean, with the MAC-10, the bonus money, you know they're going to be unarmored, you know they can't invest into this round, so why not get aggressive and see if you can get yourself a bit rich. Help the economy game early on. Couple of kills coming out for G2, and yeah, I mean, that's a good point as well. I mean, it is a best-of-5. That first map is obviously going to sting a little bit. Boomich, close up, he can find that kill. 4 HP on Kenny S, and Boomich setting a personal record in the previous map, which shouldn't surprise anyone. A 2.58 rating is the highest he's ever had, and what a time to deliver it.
It's so outrageous. Again, it matters that it's a grand final. It's so much harder to play well once you go deeper into a tournament. Nerves, you start to second-guess yourself, it all makes a difference, and somehow that's what he pulled out. What was it, 28-6 in the first half? In 15 rounds,
yeah. That
was his score.
Lincoln, you miss it. That was a quick first half on Nuke. Forget about it, though. Kenny S has the AWP. Had a nice pick in the previous round against the unarmored Glocks, now up against AK-47s and the Kriegs, which can be so deadly, or excuse me, one Krieg on electronic. Double up setup immediately for G2 as Amanek has one as well. Kenny S playing at the railing of the A bomb site, Amanek playing in middle. That's a great shot. Timing peak, making sure you dodge the flashbang and picking off the player meant to clear the close angles.
And we were talking about this yesterday after the games. We wanted to have said Amanek's name a couple of more times, maybe. It's not that he wasn't doing anything or that he was letting his team down. I mean, obviously, they're in the grand finals, so everyone was doing something. But yeah, he's a great player. We want to be able to call out his name a bit more, and there was one of the chances there. Now they're pushing up. Perfecto starting to fall back. Wow, G2 actually really trying to reclaim a lot of the pacing of this game right now, even in spite of the fact that they're playing on the CT side, which normally where you're sort of waiting around and just seeing what's coming, but they're not really doing that. What
a perfect timing for the push. And Hunter's going to continue. He'll be able to spot them out, especially he might speed things up when he hears the nades and the communication from his team, and he just misses the opportunity. He wants a clean shot. He's going to tap away. He's going to get Perfecto from behind. That should stall out the attack on Catwalk.
And he falls back. Not greedy, not sticking around for more headshots. That's so smart.
And look at the nade damage as well. Not a lot of utility. 2 smokes and a flashbang left for Navi to try and get into this bomb site or try and do damage, but I think with 20 seconds, they might just call it all off.
I don't know what other plan there could be. If you thought you could do a lot of equipment damage and there would sort of take away rifles, maybe you'd want to go for it, but it seems unlikely, and they don't really have any money themselves, Navi, so G2, this is really surprising. We saw nothing like this on the entire Nuke map, pretty much. Hunter sneaking in. He's flanked all the way around to find a second kill on Flamey. And yeah, they're trapped in here. Time is out. Are they going to try and run them down? If they die after the time is out, they're not going to get the loss bonus, and they'll at least make it through. But a 4-1 lead here for G2.
The hard part, and for Navi, as it's going to be a timeout that's called, and for good reason. We know, we talked a lot, we've been kind of joking about it through different stages of the event. It's no longer a joke now that they're in the grand final, the forced buy economics that Navi brings to the table. But they still have a tough decision to make here. You have the 2 rifles. You can't get rifles on your other players. Maybe you could get a Galil if you really wanted to, but I think the other plan would have to be, if you go for a buy in this round as Navi, then those 3 players are going to have to drop down to maybe pistols and just get up the full sets of utility.
Well, I've been in this awkward position of being the guy that's been criticizing their T sides while also simultaneously claiming they're going to win the major and the Intel Grand Slam.
That is a very fine line to ride.
I know, but I found that middle spot, Jason. I'm sure of it. I feel confident. this is the kind of stuff I don't like out of Navi. Now, I love it from G2. I want to give them credit for the push that they did. But in the past, throughout the tournament, you know, when they were playing in the group stage, this is what I saw so much out of Navi, where they have actually specifically Perfecto playing in Upper Dark. He gets picked off, and then they don't know what to do. They freeze, and nothing else happens. So we've not seen that much from them in the playoffs, and hopefully that goes away again, but it's a round I kind of want to just put a pin in it right now, and we'll see if it comes back to haunt them. Perfecto out at long. He's got some backup here. The timing for the flashbang is amazing, and they should be able to get this kill down in the pit. Jax alone. Backup is pretty far away at the moment. He's just sniping away, trying to buy a little bit of time. Kenny at the corner. If you are going to have backup, then Kenny at that range is going to be exactly what you need. And now the bomb is out in the open, and more people are going to start to rotate in. Kenny actually moving closer. He really wants to be there to help out. They're all looking at Jax. Now they know that orb is close, and they're going to get the one kill. Grenade underhand through, and it explodes. Perfecto. What a great kill. A 2-on-2 now.
Simple out mid. He's gotten one kill, and now he's opened up that part of the map, and he can actually be a nuisance. He can actually prevent G2 from rotating over towards the B bomb site. The smoke is going to slow him down. It's going to buy time for Electronic with the bomb, and now with an M4 to be able to make it to the B bomb site. This is the battle we wanted. Kenny S and s1mple inside the smoke, passing each other, not even seeing it. Oh, there's s1mple coming through, and Kenny turns and gets him.
That is completely ridiculous. They were practically standing on top of each other, none of them knowing. If he had stayed there, Kenny, I guarantee you, s1mple would have won that fight. He's inside of the smoke. It would have favored him. Now Electronic, what does he do? He's got no armor. He's got no grenades left. They still have a Molotov and an HG grenade. They could do so much to win this round. Now, it is Electronic, and he's been playing an absurd tournament himself. So many of the Navi players you could put in that category. He's going to go for the bomb plant. That will give them some money to work with, and that's fine. Molotov here will force him out. The HE certainly, if he wasn't already gone, that would probably have done it. And now he needs the headshots, and he needs them really, really quickly, walking right into Hunter's field of view. Seems like he could have maybe stayed a bit more hidden. I don't think G2 are going to be worrying about anything like that. Triple for Kenny.
He wanted to take the fight quickly to turn it into a one-on-one and then be able to play a bit more smarter. I think one thing to notice in that round as well for Navi is they passed the Krieg. It was in Boomich's hands, who obviously had the hot hand on Nuke, so you'd probably want to keep it there. But due to the spawns, Perfecto had the long spawn. He was the first one out able to take that fight. They passed it down the line to him so that he could provide the opening out long and even give him a chance to win that round.
Henry and Alex were talking about Boomich laughing on Nuke, and he's 0-0-5 right now. So the laughter is done. It's a whole new day here. 5-1 leading G2. Obviously, it's a long way to go still on Dust 2, but it's interesting.
Yeah, life comes at you fast. Good first map. Gonna have to get going in the second. Boomich down to a Mac 10. He doesn't have the funds. Remember, he's one of the players who saved his gun in the 2 rounds ago, so wasn't able to get that bonus money. Here we go, turning the corner. Catwalk control, which Navi has had pretty much whenever they've wanted it. It's just that they haven't been able to do anything with it. They've been stalled out, one time flanked from behind, a couple times stopped trying to cross into the bomb site. s1mple's got the op in hand now as well.
Yeah, and that should frighten everyone on that G2 side. Yeah, some of the shots he's been hitting today and yesterday especially, way out of control. Hunter, he's hearing them, but s1mple's right in front. The gun barrel going to be showing. Oh, he almost transfers it. Hunter through the door, and he actually gets it. I think that was the last bullet, taking down s1mple. Immense fight to be winning. And Boomich, he jumps down, leaps off the catwalk to try and see if he can punish it. It's with the Mac 10. I don't think anyone's called it out. I don't think they know that he's here. You could see Hunter not even turning for it. Is that enough of an opening? Can they actually turn it with just that one kill?
I think Kenny knew. I just don't think the communication registered in Hunter's brain quick enough. Jack's going to push out long, though, so retaking map control they've lost. What a bold play from Boomich. At the moment, doesn't really have too much of an impact, but it has thrown this defense into a bit of a crazy spin where they don't know what's happening. And again, another attack up catwalk, but Kenny's attention isn't there.
Look at Jax, he's running miles away. He could have been here already helping out, but they had the wrong call on defense, so they need to win the fight. One good kill and another great follow-up from Perfecto, and they actually get the bomb site, and suddenly it's a 2-on-2. Man, that's so interesting. Definitely some communication problems here for G2 in this particular round. And now Boomich still down here with the Mac 10, and they know it. Kenny would have called that out to get the grenade in, a little bit of damage. The Mac 10 reigns supreme for a double, and Perfecto will close the round. And Navi with a second round, and I would say that's an unlikely round for them to be winning.
Well, you said Boomich was 0-5. He's now 2-6, but it's not even the kills. It's just his presence in CT spawn that causes so much confusion. Kenny was worried about it. That's an op you would like to have trained on catwalk, but he was trying to help his teammates, and that's a brutal loss for G2. What a play from Boomich. to throw the defense in a tailspin.
There's so many things that you would want to ask them about in this round. You said Kenny might have known that Boomich was down there. If he did, then yeah, why was the call delayed, or why didn't Hunter realize, or did he and was just so occupied with middle? The other thing is obviously Jax, who was in T spawn and could have made his way out to fight for long, but something made him fall back, and those things are really, really important.
I think we have to remember, I mean, the G2 players aren't rookies by any stretch, but, you know, inexperience in a stage of this caliber, a grand finals of this caliber as well. There's going to be some nerves that they need to work through, and I'm certain that some of those played into that domination on Nuke just previously. Kenny wants to challenge on Catwalk, and he's going to get it. Electronic walks right into him. He hadn't seen the aggressive position from the op before, and Kenny catches him off guard.
Kenny alone with no backup, no one there to help him out. He was so confident in winning that fight. And it wasn't misplaced either. 8th round here as Kenny will fall to s1mple down the middle. You do like to see the style of AWPing though from Kenny. Get a kill somewhere, fall back, reposition, go, you know, just never try and fight the same place twice. But he walked right into the crosshairs there. So now Hunter up at the site, they have a lot of Molotovs and they can Molotov out this position. And if they do, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's got Nexa with him there and Jax down at long.
We'll see if they can make it around this corner. This is a crossfire setup for the G2 defense. They need someone to make contact. There's Nexa with one. Surely Perfecto, he's not going to through this corner. He doesn't look left. Oh, this is dangerous. Hunter, they know exactly where he is. And Flamey doesn't look either. Flamey just pulls out and tries to switch the weapon, and they're all obliterated. 6-2 for G2.
Wow, a lot of questions, a lot of mysteries unfolding here. Gonna have to hire a detective to figure out exactly what was going on there. Flamey, I'm not sure. I don't know. I could kind of understand maybe why Perfecto doesn't check this, because Nexa takes that fight, gets a kill, and is traded. If I'm coming in on the T side, you might just expect, if there was a player at Goose, he would have swung with Nexa. It would have been a simultaneous hit, and since no one showed up, yeah, maybe no one was ever there.
But look away from Flamey, maybe getting confused about which player in the crossfire Perfecto actually ended up killing, which was the player on railing.
That could be.
Curious. Still, I mean, question that we had coming into this, can G2 actually recover? Can they change their fortunes? Can they turn it around? And the answer at the moment is yes, 6-2, 4-round lead, plenty of money, a double op setup as well. Things looking pretty good, at least at this stage.
It's very early on. 6-2 is easily recoverable from Navi.
I think that the hard part, I think the most frustrating thing for Navi at the moment is these catwalk attacks are not working.
Yeah, so maybe that's a good reason to call them off and do something else. There's still plenty of map to play around with. Looks like they want to go for the B-bomb site. Hunter is there. That's his 14th kill with only 2 deaths. And they really can't make it through. That's a confined space. Those AG grenades leave your ears ringing for a long time.
Oh, this is a good fight from Jax. Going to get a freebie. Maybe able to fight down mid. Molotov might slow things down. The big thing is the utility that Navi uses to attack the B-bomb site is all negated by the counter nades.
Yep.
So they get stalled out, and when they eventually run out of flashbangs, there's no way to make it through that hallway against Hunter. Or Amanek, the double scope, he saw ahead, and that's a quick duck from Electronic.
Yeah, they have that double AWP. They can stay alive with both AWPs, right? That's such a luxury.
Here we go, free plant. Don't even mind this. G2 just playing it retake, trying to play it safe, preserve the weapons in their hand. That's the catwalk player. Electronic is down, so it's just Flamey with his deagle. A little bit of damage onto Kenny, who can just fall away.
Yeah, don't lose the AWP, right? You invested into to those rifles. Best to keep them alive for a long time. 7-2 will be the scoreline here. And Navi with the bomb plant and the loss bonus overall should be in a pretty good spot to buy whatever they want. So let's see. Catwalk not working out.
I think you raised the good question, is the ability to adapt. You know, I said in the pre-show, Navi, they acknowledge, I mean, the interview that Flamey gave after the semifinals yesterday, kind of admitting that they have some issues to work on, admitting that they have some map pool issues as well. They're playing confident, but I mean, they still got to work through issues on the fly here.
So just to go through the criticism that I was trying to bring up about their T sides, right? What I wish I would see sometimes more out of them is it's a style where if they lose someone early on, they react to it immediately. You know, sometimes losing a player could be a lot of information, right? Especially if it's some sort of push from the CT side, you think, okay, well, if 2 people have decided to push catwalk or up a dark or wherever it is, you react to it. You're trying to take advantage immediately. And I think Navi are slow to do that sometimes.
Well, this time Electronic learned his lesson from getting picked off by Kenny S on catwalk previously. Used a flashbang from his teammate to make it in safely. Mid control for Navi. This time it looks like they want to attack mid. It's Nexa to immediately challenge, and Boomich is forced away. Again, counter utility from G2 is stalling out all of Navi's initial moves across the map. But that means they're going to be running low. 4 flashbangs and 1 smoke for the G2 defense.
Oh, wow, you're right. At a minute as well? That is so early to be out of grenades, especially when you've been winning this much. That's a little bit of a concern, I think. It's obviously great with a double orb in the sense that maybe you can actually pick them apart before they get close to a site, but if you can't and bomb goes down, you're going to wish you had at least 1 more smoke in here. And he's setting up, but I think they're surely going to be flashing him away.
G2's nervous. I think they're expecting a switch up in the defense. You have Nexa playing in CT spawn, so Kenny's got to play towards long. This is going to leave the A bomb site a little bit understaffed.
It's the same setup. Perfecto and Upper Dark, 4 men at the catwalk. They just wait a bit longer this time, and then they go for it. Now, the advantage is, as we've been pointing out, there really are no grenades left on the CT side, so it's going to be rough, but a nice shot through the smoke as Electronic jumps down, is definitely hurt, and Nexa will find him. Kenny looking to see if he can pick someone before they even get the bomb down, but they're going to be planting on the catwalk side of that A site, and now they're all holding there. They don't have any more grenades left either.
This is going to be interesting. These 2 flashbangs and Nexa and Jax. Oh, that's a great shot from s1mple. And look at him step up to the plate, being more aggressive.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get pushed back to the catwalk with the rest of his team. This is such smart play from s1mple. He has to have some sort of presence on the bomb site itself. 1 flashbang here, that's the last one they have. Boomich trying to turn for it, but he stares right into it. It doesn't matter. Perfecto was playing anti-flash, and he's going to get the 1 next up with a double up, but still don't think it matters here. They're low on health coming in. Oh. Incredible headshot. But yeah, again, s1mple overrun, and they're just so far away that they can't get the defuse. Nice round out of Navi, even if it cost them nearly everything. And nice round out of Nexa. Quad kill. He was not having a great time on Nuke.
No, but that's an important round for Navi to win. Unfortunately, they lose everything. Obviously, the catwalk hold is stellar from Navi in defending against the retake. 1 player playing anti-flash behind the stairs. Boomich just holding the trigger and taking all the attention. That meant Jax could never get involved. If the catwalk attack doesn't come into play, Jax at long A this whole time, there's just nothing he can do peeking up into what he knows is going to be an AWP. 4-round lead now for G2 and fast pace, but Perfecto blind, he recovers just enough to find the kill.
The trade of grenades, flashbangs, I mean, it looked like actually Nexa was going to be the one that had vision for a second longer, and then 3rd or 4th or however many flashbangs were thrown, 1 of them landed on him. And now they have long control and catwalk, but there's 4 people here. Look at the gamble. Oh dear. They're actually fully invested into this A defense.
It's fine for now in terms of numbers, but yeah, they need to get someone else up into the bomb site. They can't have everyone just playing on the slope. That's an impossible defense, essentially. And they still have no idea Electronic is here at the stairs. Jax might just fall prey to it. s1mple's going to come up to play. Contact on him. There's the second peek. If Jax had killed Electronic, s1mple would have been there to clean it up, and Kenny overextends, not expecting that level of aggression, and the defense crumbles. Hunter and Amanek must fall back.
Well, that's a round that's lost to, well, some pretty clear things, right? The flashbang war out long was lost, that's one thing, but then the assumption that no one had actually pushed catwalk yet, that was what ultimately really did it. Otherwise, maybe if they win that fight versus Electronic, or if they just don't even take it and fall back, at least they have the man presence there. Brilliant stuff. Navi, and this was way more decisive. I mean, I like the fight out long, but when they win, when Electronic gets that second kill up on the catwalk, they go. Like, that's an immediate call, and it should be, but I'm just happy to see Navi do it.
Well, now these 2 rounds that are strung together from Navi mean a lot of money is taken out of the G2 hands. Hunter should be able to drop 1 in the next round. He's got plenty of utility to do it. So I think we're still going to see a buy out of G2, but it's going to be strained, and it'll certainly be the last one they have if they're to lose that round. So Navi have a clear path to get right back into this game.
There's something fascinating about the fact that we've been criticizing them for going for that catwalk play for a long time, and they just sort of keep doing it, and eventually it turns around. So maybe they've seen something in all the executes that we just haven't seen, or some feeling that they have that actually, I mean, it's not the same execute every round or anything like that. There are variations in this. I mean, this time, obviously, most of it was the long presence.
Yeah, it wasn't even an execute, right? It was just we're taking all the advantages that we get. Normally, they're stalled out trying to turn the corner, trying to turn right into the bomb site.
But you could understand why maybe they would be just trying to stay away from catwalk for a while, you know?
Maybe just let it breathe.
Not so. That's kind of impressive, actually. I wonder still, I would still like to see them do more. Where are the classic, mid to B splits? Where are, maybe now that they've got the economy low, we could have some B rushes coming out.
Ooh.
Bring it all.
That'd be spicy.
We do like it. 12th round here, and it's a very, very different story. On the second map in the grand finals, Hunter at 15-3, leading the charge at the moment. And Navi, though, starting to pick themselves up.
The boost.
Oh,
Boost,
wow.
He's going to get one. Good find from Almanac. Just barely out of vision. It looked like they wanted to go fast out mid. That shuts it down. Again, G2 just doing, even in some of these losses they've done, such a very good job of stalling out Navi's earliest ideas across the map. And there's no investment from G2 outside of Hunter and Almanac, what they've saved.
That was a boost that they couldn't even see from T-spawn. So the fact that there was an op looking didn't even make a difference. USP, and he walks right into it. Yeah, I mean, no one could have really helped him out with that.
No, but again, it's about finding ways to get these guns involved in the action. You've got to rotate Hunter over now. Almanac staying in the B bomb site, and now he's even evacuated that position towards mid with the op, trying to find one more kill. G2 actually just staying very centralized.
You wish almost at this point that Hunter could actually give the flashbang to a teammate, so he could be flashed into the long fight. You can flash yourself into that fight, but it's not as reliable. If you throw it off the wall, it also makes a noise if they're close. And
yo, they're having the right read, though.
Yeah, they have the right idea.
And this might be because, I mean, they know Navi have just attacked the A bomb site so much up catwalk. Maybe they're trying to get here, but they have to select one. They have to select long or catwalk to defend. And now some utility usage. That's 2 flashbangs they hear coming out. So this is as perfect as you could ask if you're G2. You have the op here, you have the M4 on catwalk, and you have what little utility is here ready to go.
Smokes look like they're perfect. No gaps in that one. Grenade actually is a very powerful grenade, and look at the time that's left.
No Molotovs
that's my real
for this
concern.
position.
No, you're right. They don't have anything to burn it out. What an excellent shot from Amanek. 15 seconds on the clock, and they started to move closer. Navi, they should be their round. This is the one that they almost get for free. They're just fighting a couple of rifles. Amanek with one of them, and he doesn't take down s1mple. 4 seconds left, and they're going to go for the bomb plant and the Molotov. It's going to be a second too late. Boomich gets out and dodging. Nexa will be dropped. s1mple to bring it back, and another round for Navi. It cost them a lot. That was nearly Amanek bringing that round into G2's pockets, but not going to happen.
That's such a great attempt from G2, almost winning the round with barely anything, with just what they brought in, saved from the previous. And it's a really tough line to ride when you're on the defense and you have to stall them out when the time is your friend. You have to keep fighting to hold them out of the bomb site, away from the plant, but you also are trying to survive to make it more difficult for them to get the bomb planted. 2-round lead for G2. It's disappeared pretty quickly. 3 rounds straight for Navi.
Which is a slight bit concerning. It'll be interesting to see how Navi end up playing this CT side, but my main concern, a lot of the tournament here has actually been the T side for Navi, so maybe they will be looking a bit better. Double up for them now. G2 crouching through the middle. Not wanting to take a fight, just wanted to see if they could transfer over. Are they just blindly calling that it might be a B hit? I mean, it hasn't been any B hit.
I think in the back of their head, they're expecting Navi to attack that part of the map. Like you said, to do one of those mid to B splits, to do one of those, contact plays in the tunnels at some point. Also, there was that smoke at the base of catwalk, which could have set it up, and now they want to go find the information. 3 players on this side of the map. This is the smart play. The question is, will it be in time? Because Navi is almost going to be all the way up catwalk and prepared to once again attack the A bomb site.
Well, Perfecto, I think, will have heard that flat with that grenade. So they probably know that was, I don't know if they know the expression, it could just be a timing grenade. But regardless, Kenny and Jack's probably hearing the steps behind them on catwalk, and it's a free bomb site right now for Navi. No one is there. A 5-on-5 for the retake unless someone gets a kill right about now. Kenny, he's looking into the site from a long range with the AWP, but once again, it's hard for him to find much of anything, and Electronic sneakily hiding up on catwalk gets a kill. Boomich will follow it up with 2 big ones, dropping Kenny and Jax. He actually won the fight at long against Kenny with the AWP. That's amazing. Amanek, a lot of challenges coming his way. He's going to get the one, but yeah, he wanted to try and speed it up.
Kenny was holding the cross at the bomb site, and he didn't realize that someone had already dropped down and was out of his field of view, had already gotten past where he was aiming, so just the visibility of the AWP when it's scoped in betrays him there. 7-6. This is a great stretch for Navi. What now, 4 in a row?
Yeah, they're doing a great job at coming back in the game. It looked like G2 were about to exact a hell of a lot more revenge. Again, G2 lost the pistol, but then won the following 5 rounds in a row. Which is, I mean, from then on, it looked like it was about to get.
Парни, давайте подписку и лайк по-братски.
Navi, yeah, you're right. He's just out in front.
Парни, пожалуйста, подпишитесь и поставьте лайк. И приятного просмотра.
2 rounds left in the half, and G2 hurting for money, for cash flow. Gonna descend down and do a smaller investment. Some armor, some SMG, and upgraded pistols picked up. Kenny, nothing for him as he saves for an AWP in the final round. Krieg on Nexa again. We'll see, I mean, last time G2 had a round like this, they did so much with so little. We'll see if it can happen again. And oh, Boomich just got the lineup. He was waiting for it. Even the upper dark push, Perfecto spots that out. Shouldn't be too much danger, especially now that he sees 2. 1 kill for him, and he's still willing to challenge. Ooh, that's a great flick over.
Yeah, nicely handled. Oh, right.
That's giving up mid jump.
It's just saying, you know what?
You win this battle, fair play.
I surrender. Amanek, I mean, I guess Flamey carrying the bomb. Jones is going to make a difference. Perfecto back with more. I don't know. G2 might, you know, they've lost a fair few rounds in a row all of a sudden. I'm not saying that that has to completely break their morale or anything, but it's always nice if you can at least go out with...
It's got to feel like a bit of a gut punch when, like you said, they had such a good start, a 7-2 start to this map, and they've just been destroyed ever since then. And that's a very fast reversal of fortunes. It's going to be stressful to deal with. Kenny aggressive on catwalk, but this time the Molotov forces him back.
That's how he got one of those earlier fights against Electronic, and he's not all the way back. Timing shot there, and Electronic will take him down for the smoke. That's a nice entry, trying to follow it up and stay aggressive and maybe beat the timing against the backup that must surely be coming in. He knows it. He's got the right read, but Nexa is just going to be a bit more accurate this time. I still like the play from Electronic and s1mple, and down in middle waiting for Amanek to try and do something that probably could have been a kill.
Yeah, but I mean, look at s1mple and Electronic. They're more than happy to push out and take more fights. Go look for them, especially Electronic, knowing that Kenny S was out of the fight with the AWP. Happy to challenge against just the rifle. But this is bold even for s1mple. He's out mid all on his own with the AWP. No one watching his back. No one having support for him.
Nice jump. Hunter looking over the middle saying, that is not going to be a B split. I've already got it checked out. He's actually still running to the B bomb side. They really think that's B. Oh, no.
Yeah, Nexa got lured into the trap. Walking at the same time, and that's put Navi up 8-7. A shocking turn of events for G2. Wiped out of map 1, and now struggling a little bit after a hot start. We'll see who can win this map when we return from the break.
Так, парни, вы за кого болеете? Давайте на чистоту. Нави или G2 Game? Так. Алло, да-да-да, я здесь. Ну, карт получается 5 будет. Пять карт будет. Парни, давайте прожмем дружно лайк и подпишемся на канал. 3-0, ну да, будет неплохо. Парни, давайте прожмем лайкосик и подпишемся на канал. Ну, Нави в душе, парни. Нави в душе. Так. Меня нормально слышно? Если эту выиграют, еще одна будет карта. Я за Нави, парни, конечно, за Нави. Нави с моей стороны команда, поэтому я за нее. Только Нави. Парни, давайте прожмем лайкосик. Кто не поставил, поставьте лайк по-братски. Если 2-1, то будет еще, получается, еще одна карта. Третья, да. Могут, но не заберут. Так, парни, кто сколько поставил на Нави, на G2? Парни, поставьте лайк, пожалуйста.
Jason, talk to me about that first half and Navi's just insistence on catwalk.
Yeah, it's what allowed G2 to get out to a hot start, being able to stop that, and it just looked like all their decisions in the later stages of that opening half was to cheat towards the B bomb site, expecting at some point for Navi to attack anywhere else on the map. We even were talking about it, and it never happened. And Navi ended up just battering ramming their way through catwalk a number of times.
Seems ridiculous that going the same place all the time could actually be a mind game, but somehow it was.
Congrats, they played themselves.
Yeah, they really did. Simple being forced back, and here comes the hit. 4 men running catwalk for G2. They say, all right, if you want to fight catwalk, then we'll bring that same flavor out now early on. And Simple is actually keeps running. They're right on top of him, and he knows he can't actually do anything to stop it here. Maybe snipe away a headshot, but he's going to have to wait for some teammates, or maybe just go for one of the jumps. He's still looking for it, turning around. He's pretty quick about it too. Now backup is being called in, and Boomich lands a headshot at range. The bomb is down, but they got to take a deep breath here, G2. Don't give this one up. You've got the bomb plant down. Now find some safe space to be in. See if you could maybe stay alive here. They get a kill on Simple at least. Amanek playing close. It's Flamey and Electronic to help out, and what a retake. I think Simple they thought they could take him down. They thought, all right, if he's going to be that aggressive, we'll punish him, and then they were all
Yeah, and also his aggression and his presence there right at elevator just forces the G2 players to peek from the bomb site, which is exactly what Navi wanted in that retake, because that was the best fight they could have, peeking up on the ramp when you kind of try and peer down the ledge. Also, you have to say, big fight at long from Boomich. He did a great job. He was gushed by Kenny S early on. He ended up getting the kill down at 1 HP, but the fact that he's able to stay alive and swing with his teammates when all the attention was elsewhere was perfect. Navi communicating and playing as a unit very well. It's 7 rounds now in a row, going back into the first half for Navi.
Ну, G2, да. Я думаю, домой.
That's gonna be
Скорее всего.
Uncomfortable feeling, one they're maybe slightly used to from that nuke map, and one you don't want to revisit. Could be a big opportunity there for Kenny. Even getting the tag would have made a big difference. Got 2 creeks in play, so G2 are actually very dangerous in this round.
Парни, прожмите лайкосик по-братски.
It could turn in against Navi pretty quickly.
И подпишитесь на канал.
And they're gonna have to rely on those creeks to win some heads-up
Здесь
fights.
будет происходить
Only 1
трансляции
smoke, 2 Molotovs, 3 flashbangs to utilize for G2 to get into his sight.
Бокс
You're gonna want those
и
creeks to do some
киберспорт.
work. Molotov to clear the close right corner. Burn anyone out of position, see if there's any kind of a reaction. And for the moment, there's nothing. Electronic is gonna be the one it looks like to be challenged at railing.
He has got no grenades, but that M4 of his has been just tremendous so far.
Well, it's going to get put to the test against the Krieg. Krieg against M4 is exactly what Jax is going to enjoy the most. And he was so good yesterday in the semifinal at finding entries. Electronic now trying to find information, tagged by the scout. Just a little bit. There's the fight, but not accurate. Flashbang comes in, and Jax has 2. That's what he delivered yesterday. They got G2 into the grand finals in the first place, and I think Navi just has to save.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And what they save isn't even that impressive, is it? That M4 is going to be picked up, but yeah, 2 MP9s and a FAMAS there on the Navi side. Not that much equipment to work with. And that worked out really well. There is a bit of an issue, I think, when you go for those repeaks at that A ramp, if you're Electronic, he's flashed into the fight, but if they already have the pre-fire there, it's a bit of a coin flip if you're just going to walk right into a bullet.
Yeah.
It's great if you don't and they're all flashed, but I've seen it, we've seen it a fair few times now where people actually just do that.
You've seen some things.
Seen some things. Well, nice round. G2 pretty early on here in the second half.
Jax just went down with a bomb. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it does leave a Krieg on the floor. So
shows his commitment, I think, really.
He's like, listen, I'm the captain. I'm going down with the bomb site.
It's not making sure, absolutely sure nothing goes wrong.
Misreading his HP and his nearness to the explosion.
9-8, so close again. When a game starts out like this, I mean, it was hard to talk about, I think, for Alexandria or Nuke because it was so one-sided that it never really featured that much. But when the game is 9-8 like this, it's very likely that the economy will be one of the things that decides which team will ultimately be able to make it to 16 first. And that's going to be interesting to see. amanek and Hunter out in the middle and dropping Flamey, continuing the fight. It's a pretty good return there for Electronic, which is a CC at range. But oh, coming through is s1mple with a headshot on amanek. That's so brutal.
Yeah, well, amanek wanted to be a little bit greedy and pick up that Krieg. He got punished for it. s1mple now close to the doors. There is a Molotov on Nexa if he wants to throw it to clear it out, just like the previous round. Doesn't look like they want to actually be aggressive out mid, though. Perfecto alone in the B bomb site. Electronic starting to cheat towards middle, towards CT spawn. Just to pick up the FAMAS, but he's got to get back towards the railing. And again, Electronic with 8 HP might have a really tough task on his hand, just like the previous round, defending against this catwalk hit. There is a Molotov as well, if Nexa wants to throw that behind the railing.
He's throwing it right on top of Electronic. Yeah, need to back on out, don't take any damage. s1mple, we'll find another kill next. I think there was 3 people shooting at that moment. He even gets the headshot on Jax. And Kenny, 1 versus 3, 40 seconds. It's going to be almost impossible. And s1mple will find the quad kill here. Low on health since the first fight, and still picks up 3 more kills after that. And Navi, I mean, that was aggressive from G2 out the middle, and it just doesn't work out for them.
No, they got stalled out. It's hard just a little bit because of the aggressive way that Navi kind of tried to get that position back, right? They threw a couple players at it in CT spawn. I don't think G2 was expecting that kind of presence from the defense that early. And obviously s1mple with a stellar round, starting with the Deagle headshot. 10-8 with Navi in the lead. Looking to go up 2 maps. They just need 6 more rounds.
1 AK-47 and 1 Krieg. They're on Hunter and amanek. And then Deagles for the rest of it. And we'll see. Dust 2 is a freaky map in the sense that you could use those Deagles at range easily and get some pickoffs. Grenades might be kind of a different issue for them. So if Navi can stall out this round and slow play it, make sure you don't really allow for them to get those early fights, should be a slightly better scenario for them at least.
G2 still very spread across the map, so they're starting to probe into B tunnels, but this isn't a commitment. I think they just want to try and find a pick, and unfortunately they're going to find some nade damage. A lot of nade damage. Jax is brought down to 67. Hunter looking for a reaction on the other side of the map. There's only the AK-47 on Hunter and the Krieg on amanek to pull him through this.
They might end up having a pretty decent fight against s1mple, who's got the MP9 down in the pit. If they could do it quick enough before Electronic can react, it's great. If they wait too long, Electronic will turn with that flashbang.
Yes.
And then the MP9 is going to be amazing. So I think that's the timing we're looking for here. If they can take him down before the flashbang comes through, then that's great news. A little bit of time being bought. Here comes the flash. Oh, actually, yeah, he turns for it. Not going to try and peek behind it, but then there's only 25 seconds. So even if they win the fight now, I don't think it's going to be quite enough time. That's a lot of damage being output from s1mple. Gets the assist there on Hunter. And they managed to cool it down here.
s1mple just tracks while spraying, gets a couple extra kills as well. amanek and Jax want to save these guns, but they're going to get no money. G2's really hurting for cash. Their economy is in an awful state at the moment. And what's really painful is they're going to have to sit out this round as well with just the 2 guns. But the lack of bonus money, I mean, again, that's going to be cash they don't have to use in the next round. So there's always, at this point, it feels like someone on G2 is always lacking for what the tools they need to actually fight in this game.
Yeah, just a little bit out of balance. It's also not that much time. I like Boomich just playing that one smartly in the sense of falling back. I think he could have gone for the fight maybe behind the flashbang, but he just looked at the clock probably and said, you know what?
It's also, I mean, I think they got out long much quicker than he expected in the MP9. He just didn't want to take that fight perhaps. Electronic hears the Molotov extinguish, decides not to swing. That's a disadvantage. He goes back for it though, and that's why. Flashbang, even blind, Almanac already had the lineup.
Kenny charging, not checking the car, and Boomich, oh, he's holding the trigger, wants to go for a double, and they'll have it as well. s1mple showing up, and Boomich, what a nice triple kill with an MP9. He is so good with that weapon, and always has been. Hunter now, yeah, he wanted to be the late flanker for the eventual long hit, and never got the chance.
I think G2 is getting a little bit away from themselves in this game so far. That is them like thinking they're 10 steps ahead, not clearing this corner. Everyone's committed at long. With 1:30, everyone's just trying to rush and get up. You still have those two weapons. You have the opening pick. Could have slowed things down, but missing some of the details, missing some of the fundamentals, and that's given Navi not just a huge lead, but the other side of the coin to go back to the economy is, I mean, there's not even a lot of damage being pumped out into Navi's defense, so they can afford to rebuy every single time. We haven't even seen s1mple have to drop down to the AWP. He's having a great time with the Krieg. Living the dream.
I mean, it isn't even much of a difference, is it? I think Alex was talking about, you know, s1mple yesterday, dropping the op to go to the Krieg even against Astralis just because they were having such a fantastic time. They got two of them on that CT side, which is an absolute problem that they're going to have to overcome. Now, they don't have a lot this round. Some flashbangs, always worth trying something with. But Navi, yeah, they're going to have a great lead, and that economy is going to be hard to take away all of a sudden. It took a long time for Navi to figure out what the key was, which apparently just was going catwalk all the time. But G2, they don't have much of that time left here themselves.
Yeah, no more time for experimentation. And again, another round where they're fighting with 5 pistols. Some armor, 2 flashbangs. I don't think that's going to do a whole lot, though. s1mple throws out the smoke. That's a team nade. You can see him a little bit frustrated in the picture as well.
Attempted rocket boosting.
Just shaking his head.
I mean, if they can laugh that off, then it means they're on a good track. Does peek into it, gets dinked, falls back down, and he's somehow still alive. Electronic making up for the team damage by getting a nice triple kill.
Okay, certainly at this point, if you're G2, you just say, s1mple and Electronic both have Kriegs. They're both playing at the A bomb site. Let's not go there. Let's go to the other side of the map. This is not going to be a winning recipe. He was still alive at that point, too. It didn't even really do all that much damage.
He looked way more annoyed than I was expecting.
No.
Well.
Tense situation for everyone, even when you're winning on the grand final stage in the Spodek. 13-8 lead.
It's so amazing they've managed to turn it back into 13-8.
It was 7-2 at one point.
Yeah,
11-1 run.
For G2, just for those who are not paying attention. They're pretty quick on the catwalk. Amanek has been running through upper dark just to make sure no one is there. They clear the corner, and s1mple is the one holding the A-bomb site. So if they manage to win the fight against him and the timing, they nearly catch him. Now, if they keep pushing, they're on top of the Molotov. Electronic is there, and they go back to try and fight that duo. And so far, they don't come out on top. A monstrous grenade on top of Amanek and Nexa. And he's just calling it in s1mple. He loves this fight right now. Can just buy time for the team to get here or set up for more executes. Oh, that's actually looked like they were both flashed. They still win the fight. And it's a 3-on-3. Boomich, pretty quick up catwalk. That spray as he's falling back still dinks Amanek. And Nexa in a 1 versus 3. Navi are such a good CT-sided team on this map, and it's showing right now. Nexa turning. He needs 2 more headshots. There's the one. The follow-up, and he gets it! A great triple here for the captain of G2. Will buy them a 9th round.
That's a god-tier performance. Not just the shots, but G2 was looking lifeless. They were looking done and out of this map. That might be what they need to at least give them a bit of energy moving forward. You've also taken the Kriegs away from this defense, which have just been so deadly. What a stellar job for Nexa.
Actually a miracle. He's got nowhere to hide. All he could do is just hope that they don't peek him at the same time. And he gets the timing down right. No shot connecting there. A similar start here for G2, just slowly across the map.
Here's the op in s1mple's hands, though. He's finally gotten it. Kenny S has one as well. s1mple playing at a very small angle through double doors, does not want to get flashed off the angle, but wants the information. Holding it for the moment, spam coming through, just narrowly missing.
That is so dangerous when the orb is on the other side like that. Boomich at long alone though. Kenny also has to be really careful here. Slightly wider angle, and that could have been the end of Kenny.
Now s1mple needs to reposition. Takes his shot, shows his hand in middle. Falls back. Hunter and Jax might have been able to hear the footsteps, might be able to have the information that someone rotated back. We'll see if they can make the decision that it's s1mple, or at least get the information that it's the AWPer, as Electronic is the one to rotate towards mid now.
Yeah, switching it up a bit. s1mple just in a great spot here. They do have at least a fair few grenades, including that one Molotov that can make his life really tricky.
This is an A-split.
It is, and if they win the fight against Boomich out long, suddenly Electronic and s1mple, that duo has been able to stand up to a lot historically, but this is a pretty tall order. I think a lot of this is going to be riding on Boomich and whether or not he can beat this fight against the MAC-10 and the AK-47. He turns for it here, 20 seconds. They Molotov their way onto the site. Electronic is already gone, and that leaves s1mple very much alone. Boomich about to be shot in the back, and there it is. Long range for s1mple, and that was all he could do. It's still impressive with those 2 kills. 9 seconds, and the bomb will go down, and that's a beautifully timed A execute. And I'll tell you what, the fact that they execute the long part of that push so late is why Boomich is not thinking about it.
It's also the kill on Electronic that forces Boomich to rotate back and actually try and help s1mple, but he didn't even consider long at that point. He was fully committed. And that is the Dominoes, that is the A defense at times. So G2 now at double digits, 10 rounds, just 3 behind Navi.
This time it was 2 people going long for the flank. Sometimes it could be just 1, but whether it's 2 or 1, it's such a strange art form to know when to go for that push. And there are some players that
feel and the read.
Yeah, just, you know, if you do it too soon and you know, Boomich just takes 2 kills, suddenly you might lose the round, or probably will lose the round. And if you get the timing right, yeah, it's perfect.
All right, well, the money on Navi not looking great at the moment. Good entry from Next. I mentioned that was the kill that kind of took Boomich's attention away. Good adjustment from s1mple, but no way you were getting both of those.
Oh, and again, by the way, just the difference between having 2 or 1 long. Imagine if it was only 1 and s1mple takes him down like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then all of a sudden he's still alive with an AWP. Well, they pass him a new one. Flamey and Boomich on pistols. They buy, actually, it's pretty dangerous buy. And obviously, if you can get the AWP in s1mple's hands, why not just go for it? There's still cash behind this too, so Navi not fully invested in this round.
Let's see if it pays off. It is hard to argue against. Hunter takes a grenade down there in lower dark. They're setting up over at long. Boomich here with the CSAT 75 close range could be very scary. It's hard to put a flashbang that actually connects with him in any reasonable fashion here. He walks right into the shot. Jax, pretty good opening there. And now Electronic and s1mple. s1mple doesn't really want to actually go catwalk. He could have maybe tried to escape to stay safe, but much like he normally does, he's going to go and fight instead. Flamey is down, s1mple's ready and waiting and almost walking into the angle. Oh, Kenny, that is a quick shot. I don't even know how he saw him. Through the scope, obviously.
With his eyes.
With his eyes, yeah.
Electronic gonna, ooh, that's the bomb, and that actually easily could have dropped down onto the elevator. That could have been a disaster. Unfortunately for Perfecto, he's the last one left. I think it's that whole left angle, right angle peak for s1mple and Kenny S that made it so easy for Kenny. Looked fast from our point of view. And Perfecto's gonna get away, but he's already being hunted by Hunter. Haha.
He does that a lot. I feel like it's, I often end up saying something similar, and I think, you know what, maybe he is role-playing that part.
You're like, oh, I didn't mean to sound like an idiot, but it's just the way it works out. 11-13, G2. Bit of a comeback, and they're starting to build some momentum. They've at least stopped the monstrosity of a run that Navi was on. They have 3 in a row themselves now, and that round they survived with 4 players alive.
Wow, there was way more, yeah. You're absolutely right. That was the left-right situation. Now, they take all the rifles away. Let's not underestimate that part either. Navi's momentum has been partly economically based, so the fact that they have to give it all up now, it's pretty good news for G2, who are just looking to get that comeback. In a best of 5, it is really a little bit devastating if you start going down to 2 maps early on. That can really weigh on you. You want to at least get 1 map on the board so you know you can keep fighting and get another shot at it.
And also just especially because you got wiped out of the server on Nuke. Just want to get a win under your belt so you can forget about that one. Kenny S, I think he actually saw that, but there was no way he was ready to actually take the shot. So he sees one more crossover towards the B bomb site, and G2 going to use the overwhelming power and range of the AKs, the rifles, the AWP. They're going to play this one out towards long.
You're in the mood for some good electronic 1D here. I think that's the only way they can bring it back.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain.
All right.
G2 fans would.
Probably yes. Well, we'll see what's on the menu for him here. Still 55 seconds. G2 all in one group. I kind of like that. I don't mind that. When you know the economy is low, it makes sense to do this.
Flamey's in middle as well, trying to grab some information for Catwalk. So that's why you see Electronic holding on to his smoke as long as possible, which is great because he might be able to use it into the bomb site if they start doing a set piece, use the Molotov for the site, or even just a delay. 37 seconds.
Don't know if there's a gap, but hopefully not. That's a common mistake, even at a high level, that people... Oh, there is a gap. That's the one thing you just can't afford. They're crouching past, they line up. Oh no, Boomich! Big kill on Jax, 25 seconds. They take down Electronic. That's a tiny little mistake that could easily cost them the round. If Boomich gets 2 kills, Electronic could swing wide, and suddenly it can all crumble. But the bomb will go down instead, and it's looking a bit better here as Hunter will take down Flamey, and some grenades to buy a bit of time. They're looking like they've recovered the scenario, G2. You don't want to see that ever again. Not here on Dust 2 in this grand finals. Boomich will get dropped, but oh man.
Listen, the crack is one thing. It's hard to exploit if a team is executing across long at a fast pace, but they were trying to do it quietly, crawl and walk, and that makes it an easy shot. And if Electronic had been able to get 1 kill, only 2 G2 members were leading that charge, that would have slowed everything down. That could have been, you're exactly right, the round. That might have even been probably close to a double in some sense. 13-12. I like this G2 staying in this game, and remember, let's go back. Powered by Nexa, the clutch from the captain, the 1 versus 3 that he had to win to get this started. It's given them a new breath of life.
Nexa and then Hunter, obviously, the duo that has utterly revitalized this team in a fashion that honestly is hard to explain, but it's been a magnificent story to follow. 22 and 14 on Hunter right now, only slightly outdone by s1mple, who's at 23 and 16. And we're going into round number 26 right away. Economy back in the hands of Navi, though, yeah, still with the AWP on s1mple, not the double orb at least, but see what it could do. We've been hyping it up for a bit, haven't seen it that much here on the CT side. Might get a chance to. Kenny is sneaking through the smoke in middle. That is not the style we've always seen out of him, but it's great to see this version right now. 26th round, and he is just taking the fight. He's got some backup in here as well, looking for it, and they know. Now, are they going to react, G2? Do they want to go quick, or do they just want to fall back? I'm pretty sure Flamey saw them.
I don't know if they're going to commit to this with 4 players in middle. Jax might bail out and go towards Upper Dark to join Amanek, but Kenny is still looking for someone to go for an information play. A lot of utility used by Navi to slow this down, a lot of utility used by G2 to keep hold of this portion of the map, and they just want to give it up. They didn't see anything they wanted.
They also hadn't cleared out Catwalk, so if they go quick and Electronic, which he kind of was, is playing close Catwalk, that's so dangerous.
I think they re-execute on a mid to B split or just towards the B bomb site, but they forced a lot of utility out for the Navi defense just by having that presence and that pressure at the double doors.
They have 1 smoke here, G2, to try and get into it. Now, it could work, but you're not going to get a second chance. Flamey holding 1 angle, Perfecto with a crossfire on the other. Oh, and he gets instantly shocked. Jax, another great entry, and Perfecto, 2 kills would be too much to ask for. He got the 1 and a lot of damage, and that's still pretty good. Kenny holding middle, and they're going to save. They're not even going to try and get close to it. Man, Jax is a superhero at getting those entries.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal for this team in that regard. That's a beautiful opening provided by him, but also, I mean, unfortunate timing for Flamey pulling out the nade, but I think that's exactly what G2 said, is just the amount of utility that's dumped from Navi from both sides of the map in towards middle, and they just want to exploit it. They want to exploit the lack of nades, the nades that are used too early, and they're right back into this map. It's all tied up. 13-13 down the stretch.
About to be 5 in a row for G2.
Yeah, the best that Navi can do is just keep this AWP in hand of s1mple.
Well, here's a question, though.
Yeah.
So far, that AWP has been playing, you know, on the CT side of mid doors. It's been playing up at the catwalk. That's kind of the most forward he's been. But that doesn't have to stay that way. They could boost him up quick. They could run him up that catwalk, take a fight in middle, any number of things. So maybe it's time you know, for him to change the pace.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, and we know he has that in him. I know a lot of oppers talk about how difficult it can be to play that style these days with how good teams are with utility now. Everyone has stepped up in that regard, and that's a bit of that's a great shot, obviously. And not, Flamey, I mean, you're not expecting them to walk through the majority of that tunnel and just take that peak. You're expecting there to be some sound cue or some utility used.
Yeah, anything to tell you that it's happening. Electronic actually forward from the Molotov, and he's in so much trouble. He should be dead. I can't believe he got that kill. That's very impressive. He could have easily been gone, and then could be another round gone for Navi as well.
G2's fine with the 1-for-1 trade, though. Jax is the entry fragger as well, so he's going to be no stranger to getting picked off first. s1mple now has to stay pretty much planted at this A bomb site, and there's not really any way for him to get aggressive here. He's got to be very cautious if he wants to move up. You can see in the X-ray that s1mple doesn't have. kennyS just holding the angle with an AWP of his own. All of G2 is lined up for this catwalk hit, so let's see. s1mple, what have you got at 13-13?
Well, see if he can even beat the grenades here. Going to be raining down all across him. 55 seconds, they jump down, now they're right on top of him. If he misses one more shot, they'll absolutely take him down, and I don't think he knows there's a second player there right around the corner, but Boomich from long will help him out. Amanek nearly made it ways with the smoke. 45 seconds, a missed chance, and he's low on health himself. The bomb is down, and it's a 2-on-4, and G2, how can they defend this? A jumping shot will get his face blown off. Nexa quick with the AK-47, and now 2-on-3. Nexa and Kenny, can they pull one more miracle here? It's Flamey to get the kill, and Nexa alone. They're all shooting at him, and he can't stand up to it. Goes down, Boomich with the double, saving s1mple and saving the round. That's great defense.
That is just so crazy. s1mple able to survive in that situation. Boomich saving his life from long was the critical kill. You're right, s1mple never saw the second player jump down, or I guess the first of the two players to jump down. This is just s1mple winning in a different way. We know him for his highlights, his incredible shots. This is just him staying alive as long as possible, being a nuisance. 14-13, Navi have a 1-round lead.
Such an important frag from Boomich out at long.
Double up setup as well, and it's not in Flamey's hands, it's in Boomich. He's gonna have that towards long. s1mple has his as well, and they're both gonna be backing away.
Yeah, I think Boomich got the long spawn and just wanted to run for it. Oh, this is unbelievably dangerous now. There's one Molotov. I don't know if he's going to have a teammate maybe backing it up, but they're shooting through the car windows. They still don't know. They might think this is clear now. That's a mistake. Nexa gets one. A follow-up from s1mple. They thought they had it cleared out. They thought they had already done the homework there, and he punishes them right away. 3 versus 5 now. They should be able to get rid of him. They have another Molotov. There should be no way that he could stay alive in this corner. But look at how much attention and just utility he's grabbing. That's 2 Molotovs and an HE and 2 players dead on the G2 side.
It's information gathered as well. So Flamey can play alone with his AWP. Excuse me, I said it incorrectly at the start of the round. He did have one. It was Boomich and s1mple juggling, like you said, due to the spawn. So Flamey's going to be in position. That's an incredible shot from kennyS. He might have just opened up the whole bomb site. Smoke wall is up, and Boomich can't do anything except wait for his teammates. Some utility.
Oh, do they really want to try and go through? They go for the boost, and that's revealed right then and there. No one to shoot for the smoke. They want to reboost it again, but the bomb is already down. They had this round. s1mple had already given it to them, but now they might be in a little bit of trouble here. The smoke is finally going to be fading, and they have one of their own to try and block out long, but they don't know about that car yet, and that's an issue. Perfecto lining up. Could have been a huge double kill. Now Hunter falling back with the Krieg. He's solo on health again. He's going to have to try and look for headshots, and that is a great run. Instead of doing it one at a time, they just decide to speed it up and go for it immediately.
They already lost in that kind of a battle one time when they took it slow against Nexa. That's what got G2 back into this game. So this time they just get highly aggressive. Plant is going to help out. G2 has plenty of money to buy, but they got to win 2 in a row to force us into overtime. Navi looking to go up 2-0 in these grand finals. s1mple delivers early on, but a lot of pressure still applied from G2 thanks to this shot right here. That's a thing of beauty.
So well done. Yeah, that looked like it could have been the round. I don't know what happened to the guy. I guess someone was watching it, which is really heads-up play.
Yes, I think Kenny took a peek when the contact began, took a shot, and Flamey just fired right back through the window and got him. It was a spam shot for sure.
So what a difference that makes. They get the long control, but that doesn't always lead to any kind of a win here. They're all out here. I'm actually getting scared. If you take long control with 5 people like this, the longer you stay, the more you're going to get paranoid about whether or not they're pushing up a dark or looking down middle in some way. They don't see anyone. You can end up in a pretty bad situation here if you don't actually execute on this fairly early on.
Giving Kenny plenty of time to peek in and try and find a pick. No one is offering it to him. And like you said, with all 5 players here, the fact that Boomich controls Catwalk, everyone can feel safe. s1mple, flashbang is out. Oh, and he's got the reaction. He's got the reaction he wanted. That's going to let him know how close they are. There's the smoke wall being put up, but I don't know if G2 wants to go for this just yet. They might just have to. They have no more smokes. They have to use these to cross. It all comes down to this.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. See if they can do it, if they can get it into overtime or not. Hunter going down early on. Navi, they were behind early on Dust 2, but they're looking to win the second map of the grand finals here. It's s1mple to get dropped as he's trying to escape through the smoke, and flamie will fall next. Electronic, wide peak, but he doesn't get shot down long from that AWP. And Nexa, 2 health left. Kenny, he pushes up long. He wants to go and help out before Nexa has to fight on his own. And that bomb is only just planted. He's got a great angle here, Kenny. I don't think they'll expect it. They are kind of looking for it, but a nice headshot to bring one down. Is he ready to flick? That's the Krieg right in front. If he misses the chance, he's gone. Kenny with the leg shot. That might be everything they need here. And now only a couple of seconds left. Perfecto on 1 point of health. And he gets a shot. It's the time for it. He's going to run for it straight away. And there will be a second map here in the finals. s1mple stands up, celebrating already 16-13.
He already knew it. He already knew he had it. 1 HP on Perfecto. 1 HP on Nexa. That's an unfortunate loss, and G2 fought so hard and came so far back, and still the same result. That's gutting, but incredible from Navi. Everyone stepped up when needed. Boomich was phenomenal in a supportive role at the A bomb site. From Catwalk on the retakes, from Long to help his teammates hold the site. Everything worked for Navi when they recovered. That's 2 maps to nothing. We're headed to a break, and then we have the conclusion of the grand finals.
This is the quiz break. We ask the questions, you make the answers. And what you've got to lock in all of those answers at the end of the day is esl.glhf.gg. I'm nailing this now.
James, we are also up for another prize boost challenge. For you to win more.
Yeah, we hope at least anyway. So let's take a look at the next question. Which team ended the Ninjas in Pajamas 87-0 winning streak? Astralis, Virtuspro, or Vitality?
87-0. James, that's like my loss to win ratio.
Don't I know it, mate. You know what it's time for now? It's the prize boost challenge once again.
Let's not waste any more time and get into the f***ery.
Okay, I've seen this one before. They may have been a bit nicer to us.
Trick of trying to have some carbonation with some fatty fluids. And we're doing this for the people. James, let's do this, man. The triple chug. Pepsi first, yeah. I bet you've got like a mean chug, man. James. That'll happen to you, mate. Dude, I can't do this in 30 seconds. I'm telling you, physically not possible for me.
Yeah, this is really hard. At least I did it. Oh.
I'm not sure if I'm disappointed or impressed.
Why would you be disappointed? Why would you be disappointed? I did it again. let's just get into the next question.
Which former CSGO pro is famous for raging and the quote, "I'm playing with a coach, a manager"? Mo, hazed, or dazed?
Were any of them former pros? They're from the NA.
James, NA's a big deal these days, mate.
Do you see Liquid at Blast?
You're firing some shots. Okay, well, I think it's time for a break. We'll be right back with the penultimate question of the quiz break.
And I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever hold, no matter if we cast away a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be where you will again. Right from the start, I see the end. A world torn apart, but I know we're meant. Forever hold, no matter if we cast away a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be where you will again.
Так, парни, ну шо? Нави? Нави в душе, точнее, Нави в сердце, да?
16-13 performance that does put us on into the third map, and we're going to need a miracle mirage if you're G2. However, for the time being, we need to start breaking down.
Кто за Нави, давайте плюсик в чат.
Significantly better in terms of gameplay. I have Chad, I have Jacob here with me on the desk to do that.
I told you they put up a fight, right? I said that.
Парни, если вам не сложно, подпишитесь на канал. Здесь будут стримы в дальнейшем всех последующих чемпионатов.
It felt like they were in charge of the game, right? They were being very aggressive on the CT side. They were constantly pushing, especially Hunter towards that B bomb side, and Dark in particular. He was pushing down and lower, catching Navi off guard a few times. He was sitting 11 rounds into this game. He was sitting at 6 multi-kills. His score was 15-3, and if you look towards Navi at that point, the entirety of Navi only had 6 multi-kills combined. So he was single-handedly actually doing the job against Navi. From that point and onwards, though, Navi stringed, I believe, 11 rounds out of 12 together, and then they were really in danger to lose this one again. Even though G2 made it competitive, I think Navi were.
Парни, если вам не сложно, подпишитесь на канал. Не, ну парни, ну скажите, ну хорошо камбэкнули, да? Вообще просто.
Look at his clutch stats. They're absolutely insane in this tournament. He's been in 5 1v2
Хороший
situations in
камбэк
this
был.
tournament. He's won them all. He's been in, I think it was 4 one-on-one situations, and he's won 3 out of the 4 situations. So, as a safe pair of hands, this man is looking phenomenal.
And speaking of safe hands, this is about the time where I tell you to take your hands and push them against that screen over there.
Sure, I can do that for you, Trace. Now, Jacob was talking about the commanding lead that we were hearing going on from G2 in the early stages.
Легко, он даже не вписывался, он просто влился в новый состав.
Why do they keep going back to those cat
Он как там и был,
Now I
ебать,
want to
все
talk you
время.
through some of the things that we know. Navi love this long play we're about to see, but normally what they do is they stick all 5 members here. They'll stay and they'll go late long as a team. This situation, they win the duel, they get that opening kill, they force Jackson Kenny back, as you can see right here on the screen. But instead of actually just waiting with 5 men long, they're going to put a player up cap very early. And what I want to talk about right here is this going on right here from G2. They're trying to get some control of the map, but they're hesitant to think they're up cat, right? Because we have seen time and time again the individuals from Navi have just all stayed long. This time round, Electronic's already up cat, Simple's come here as well, and as Jax starts to push on in, we're going to see it in a second, he doesn't even look to clear that position of Electronic, throws the smoke, has no idea a player could be that close, he's about to get caught off guard, and this is when that round completely spirals out of control. I think there are a lot of mind games going on in this first half, Trace, and that's probably a big reason as to why Navi in the early stages, there was a lot of back and forth.
A lot of back and forth, and that's what we're going to continue to deliver right here at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. We do have a 3rd map on our hands, and we need to go to a break before we jump into that. Can Navi put G2 away in 3? That's what we're going to be looking for. We'll be right back, everybody.
Так, начинается скоро. Фнатик 18 год. Minecraft.
Let's get Australia in the arena.
Нави лучшие, да? Пора им забрать этот кубок домой. Бро. Да, если сейчас с нами выиграют еще следующую карту, то все. Будем смотреть вручение кубка и всего вот этого. Поэтому не отключайтесь после победы Нави. Будем смотреть. Весель коммерция. Парни, прожмите лайкосик. Зеус? Ты думаешь, что Зеус будет выручать?
He wasn't the classic nerdy computer kid in school. He was one of the ones to get a girlfriend first and a very social person.
Typical for Finn is that he is very determined.
Ist egal, ob es jetzt beim Kartenspielen ist oder beim Tischtennis oder beim Computer, er gibt nicht auf.
What he really wants is to win a major. It's his dream, and therefore it's also my dream for him to get that.
Ну посмотрим. Охуенные ноутбуки. Ну, обещать не делать. Там что-то какие-то траблы говорили, что... Какие-то траблы. Предейтер. Водафон, да? Розыгрыш 4 процессоров Intel Core i9 Coffee Lake. 0-2, вот, красиво идут, согласись. Да, скоро уже начало. У меня, кстати, вчера на основном канале была трансляция, там было 900 человек, и мне заблокировали трансляцию, и прилетел за авторские права. Страйк 1. Я стримил русскую трансляцию, я хз. Почему-то вот некоторые люди сейчас стримят русскую, им страйка нету. Мне прилетел страйк за 2 часа, а им нет страйка. Ну, как-то несправедливо. Так. Ну все, парни, я отключаюсь, чтобы потом не прерывать игру, поэтому, парни, давайте болеем за наших.
They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control. Yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, Vodafone, and Euronics.
Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters. Kind of, it's a 2020. We do barrel on here in this best of 5 grand final. We are simply one map away from crowning a brand new champion of the Intel Extreme Masters. Navi are pushing it to the brink. But first and foremost, let's get our casters involved. We tried to approach this one a little bit differently, and these guys have been backstage watching the match. What do you think, Henry?
It's not looking too good for G2. It's a much better effort there coming in on Dust 2, but we're still not seeing enough from Kenny S, in my opinion. It is coming up to Mirage next, though, and we didn't think historically G2 really played Mirage too much, but they have played against 100 Thieves at this event, a bit of a wild cut up their sleeve. They beat them 16-3, but the slight caveat to that is they also 16-2 them on Dust 2. It seems like it was a game that 100 Thieves didn't really turn up to necessarily.
Yeah. Right. Now, Alex, I'm going to just short and sweet. I need you to tell me, Kenny S versus s1mple. Is this delivering like you thought it would?
Short and sweet, just like Moses. I think so. I would love to see another map, but I have to kind of be honest. I think the tingle is that we see the 3-0 here.
Yeah, and that's certainly what it's looking like. We're going to be going to Mirage with you, gentlemen. We'll catch up with you shortly. And for now, we're going to start to make sense of this. I did say that this is a first-time champion here for the Intel Extreme Masters between these two teams, pending the outcome of this best of 5.
Yeah, we need to see Kenny S step up, right? We even talked about, I think we can find his card right here. We talked about Kenny S we talked about s1mple, you know, and so far there's only one of those two that has delivered. Up until this point, Kenny has been playing, you know, a stellar tournament. He's been great. He's been the best performer for G2, but in this final so far, he's sitting at 19 kills over 2 maps. He's not showing up. He's not shutting down s1mple, and he's not contributing a lot to this lineup. We need to see Kenny step up. Otherwise, I'm going to lean towards the 3-0 as well.
Yeah, and that'll open the door, right, for s1mple to grab that MVP, because one of the horses in the race alongside of s1mple's name, who was well and truly above everybody else, was Kenny and Hunter, I believe, tweeted out from Peter from HLTV.org. But going into Mirage, right, is this map, this decider here. I've seen Navi play this map 3 times in the tournament so far. They've picked up 2 victories, one of which was pretty commanding. I would say they're more comfortable on this map than G2. I'm so surprised to see this one crop up so early.
And, you know, I don't want to say surprised, but certainly we are getting a performance out of Boomich right now. He is sitting really well within the stats. Where does this translate when we go to Mirage? Are we going to see the same sort of comfort here from Navi?
Well, I think so, right? It's a very open map. It's a map where if you are an in-game leader and you like to take matters into your own hands, you can move around on the map and be influential. Boomich has had one hell of a final so far, and I don't expect it to slow down anytime soon. He seems to be playing with so much confidence, had a lot of impactful kills and Dust 2 as well. So by the looks of it right now, chat, we're looking at a Navi that is clinching it out for you.
Yeah, we could be 16 rounds away from having a new Intel Extreme Masters Katowice champion. We also have a team here in the running for a notch in their Intel Grand Slam belt. There's a lot to keep in mind here, and what this is the first Masters Championship within the ESL Pro Tour. So lots on the line right now, Trace. I think Navi have got what it takes to take this clean sweep 3-0.
They are making one hell of a case to be the champions here in Katowice, but we are going to have to see how the rest of this series pans out. And moreover, we're going to be hearing some lovely voices give that detail to us. It's going to be that of Henry and Alex.
Thank you very much, Trace. Yes, Mirage. And it's time to see if G2 have got enough ground covered on Dust 2. Momentum reset. A third and final attempt to see if the G2 roster can best a Navi that have maintained a form no one thought possible.
A retake setup deployed by Navi, and it's an A execution coming in from G2. We're going to see a couple of smokes deployed the A side. They've got post-plant Molotovs as well as they line up smokes toward the connector here. Amanek will have all 4 of his teammates around him, just next towards the palace. First Molotov deployed towards Shadow. Boomich, he's been playing so well so far, unable to land shots on first contact.
We've seen, not Electronic, Navi play this retake A very comfortably before. And it's happening again. Bomb will go down courtesy of Kenny. But now look at the aggression from the G2 boys. They're taking control of jungle and trying to take it by force. But s1mple, he bides his time. And Info, Jack's going to call it out. But s1mple seems so wise. He knows there's another, finds the angle. And he's playing it like a beast. He gets 1. 4 versus 3. Made, oh my goodness, 5 versus 2, excuse me. They're multiplying. And another retake from Navi looking successful.
Yeah, it looks like the round is done, unfortunately. Bomb planted, but another extraordinary retake there from Navi. The fact they let the bomb go down, Flamey gets 3 kills. You see that movement from s1mple as well. He feigns the fact he's jumped out the window. They bought that. They thought he was going towards connector. He jumps on the ledge, jumps back up, and at that point, headshot found, retake begins, and all of the G2 members completely eviscerated on the side. Like I said, though, bomb planted does enable them to bring out a few rifles going forward. This was the move here. They had no idea. Hunter wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting it, and we were seeing it from his POV. So round 2, big one here for G2. AK, Galil, Krieg, lots of firepower, not too much in terms of utility. Pretty equal setup on the CT side as well. Huge round here for G2, currently 2 maps against them.
Boomich has got, I'm going to call it, his signature weapon.
Yep.
Amanek may have the MAC-10, but the MP9, it's all Boomich and takes the AK out. No issues, leaping from the balcony. He descends upon Kenny, and that's enough. This round is over. They brought rifles, and it's no issue. Flamey, a triple kill round 2.
All right, then. Things starting to warm up quite nicely for Navi. A solid A defense there. Barely had to break a sweat. G2 get nowhere near the bomb site, and it's the MP9, the signature weapon.
Look at the flames, he doesn't care.
Bossman Boomich just getting it done in the air, jumping kills, and he's feeling it now. He can taste glory. We'll see just Desert Eagles, Glocks, no armor, a single HE for Amanek. As we move into the next round, big spray down, a triple kill. It's the quad, and Flamey's got another race. He keeps racking them up. You can't slow this man down.
G2 Esports, they look like Skittles. He just bowls his bullets up middle and knocks them all down. The nade for good measure, let's see that again.
3 kills of the HE, we had a double kill on the previous map, but this keeps getting better and better. It's s1mple with the covering fire, and Flamey mows them down. It's an eco round, but still it sets the tone for the rest of the half. 3-0, G2 bring out the Kenny S AWP. A slight compromise and no helmet. Could be a problem against the MP9 of FAMAS. As we'll see s1mple now boost himself up towards shore.
I think the air in Katowice is going to be bruised the amount of time s1mple's been punching it in celebration. My God, he does get tagged up, but he will retreat. Nanandez was talking about this before. You see s1mple on his Dust 2 CT AWPing. Despite the damage early, he never looks flustered. Always repositioning, always feeling it, to quote Maniac.
Demoralizing start there for G2. They know it was an eco, but the way it goes down, they didn't even get a look into the round. Normally we talk about slowing it down, baiting out grenades, trying to get a bomb down, getting one kill. Yeah, he's got nothing there. And it's a difficult round coming up as well. They've got the rifles again, but severe lack of grenades. Hunter, known to get up and towards the window room. flamie with the AK towards short.
11-0.
That's nuts.
Untouched, the 12th added to the list. He's putting coal in all the stockings of G2 at this point. Another one perhaps on the cards and gets away. Scar-free, no issues for flamie. He can tuck in on B, and G2, they've got 40 seconds to find a way back in. s1mple, he closes the door on this round. And oh, Kenny, humiliated. FAMAS bullets find his spine, and now just two remain, Nexa and Amanek. They've got plenty of time, but Boomich is on the prowl.
He's locked them in. They don't want to be here at all. He's coming in towards the top of middle. The MP9, the master of the weapon, does find the bomb towards top of middle. Amanek is wondering what in God's name just happened to them there. How are these rounds just dissipating within seconds? He'll hold up, wait for mistakes on the CT side, but 5 seconds remain. He'll just have to sit back and wait. He could die after the timer here. This would actually be perfect for Boomich. If he gets his kill, call it done, because you'd have no money going forward there. But Amanek will be able to hold on to the rifle. He still gets no cash going forward. There are maximum loss bonus for no plan. They'll take a timeout, and a much needed one. Slow the pacing down of this game. So they'll have one Krieg. Amanek can buy up a couple of flashbangs or a smoke to go with it. His teammates can bring out Galil, armor, basic utility, but that's going to be the rest of the half for them. They keep this up. They need to either take a partial buy here, take that one on the chin, let it go to 5-0, and then start to get themselves back into the game. Or they could fully invest and go for broke. We'll see. Jax's Deagle suggests they'll go for the partial buy, but so far so good for Navi in this third map. Remember, we've only really seen G2 play Mirage once this year. That was in this tournament.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, though, that was against a weak 100 Thieves that day.
It definitely, but I do also feel like Nexa made the good point in that interview with Frankie afterwards, saying you know, we brought our Mirage from crazy. Nexa and Hunter, it's our favorite map, and you saw so many elements of the G2 CT side looking like that of crazy, lots of well-timed CT aggro pushes. We're not there yet, though. It's G2 that have to bring the fight to Navi, and, well, a good opportunity is missed. s1mple will miss the bullet on the aggressive Deagle peak of Jax, and so things will slow.
Desperate for an opening. Amanek fires off bullets through the smoke, but in response, he just received the HE grenade. Chips away 40 damage. Deagle shots coming through, and look at the CD setup. 2 AKs, AWP, money swelling out of control as well. Looking for a 5-0, final play towards A. They can smoke off CT spawn. Or towards connector. They have a Molotov as well. Commonly overlooked position. Boomich will sit towards sandwich. Baited in by s1mple on the ticket booth for now. There's no way they can flash him out of position. That's a real big problem. They can smoke him out, but on ticket booth, he'll be absolutely fine to get a couple. Boomich can focus towards Palace, allowing s1mple just to focus purely towards the A ramp.
Incendiary, oh, it cost him 80 health, and that Palace swing could punish, but it's looking perfect from Boomich, just sitting in sandwich. He's having his cake, and he's eating it, no issues. Electronic converts.
Looked like they were in trouble there. A missed shot from s1mple, wasn't looking towards the A ramp, still gets the incendiary out, forces them to commit, but Boomich, he handles it well. flamie is yet to die. He's 12-0 right now as we enter round 6.
Okay, if Navi come through and convert a grand final with players setting personal records in the grand final, Boomich has the most frags he's ever had.
Just a note, Perfecto again, 0-0-0. He hasn't had a look at it, he's a Bianca. He's just like, guys, please could I be part of this grand final?
Keep it up, guys. It looks like it's going great.
Could I have a go? Is there any way I could get a few shots off as well? Just his teammates. Oh no! Big spray down coming in, but Boomich not ready for it. A chance now for G2. They're going to have to swarm the A side. Get the bomb down quickly.
As soon as they get a way in, someone gets one tap through the smoke. Flamey's 13th straight through. They will be planting on that tri-box area. Oh, he would have been miffed if I was Hunter and s1mple pulled the trigger a second earlier, but now they've got a shot at this. Disadvantage for the retake.
We know how good these retakes have been, though. The problem is the T's only have a couple of flashbangs remaining. Kenny S will have to be combative here. He needs to land some shots, but it's electronic that completely removes him from the equation. Hunter locked in by the flames. He's going to go down. It's a 3 versus 1, and Jax is nowhere to be seen. He's at the connector right now. He'll probably get this first kill towards s1mple, but I think the defuse will be coming in momentarily. Here it comes. Can he stop this? Absolutely not. Decent effort there. The best chance they've had so far on the G2 side, but Navi confirmed victory once again. 6-0. Bomb planted, maximum loss bonus. They can buy again. Jax would have to drop the AWP as we go into round 7. Still, he had to post a frag. Kenny S, we said going into this one, he had to be instrumental in the success for G2. That was the big storyline, him versus s1mple. He's 0-6 right now.
Yeah, not completely absent. We also, you know, another one we built on Nuke was Nexa Boomich, and well, there was a clear fragging in-game leader. I did not stutter. And outside of that, if you add up all of G2's frags right now, Flamey has more than double the frags of G2. That's saying something. He has 13 frags.
Well, at least he does bleed. He's at least been taken down at this point. 1 death to his name, a Hunter. He snuck through behind enemy lines here. Great shot towards electronic. Another good advantage here. Not held on to, though. It's going to be Flamey that brings it back to the 4-4. Smokes towards the Palace. Needs to focus towards connector now. Kenny S 1 step ahead of him. That's his first frag of the half. They'll swarm towards the A side. This round has to be theirs, Alex.
It's so promising. I don't even see a way in which they can make an impact. Boomich's push through T is not going to bear fruit. Instead, he's just going to be so late to the party. I say that. The bomb yet to go down. It looks like Kenny biding his time. They take CT control with a flashbang and Jax. And yeah, this is poised to be the first for G2. I don't really see how NAVI get a look in.
They won't, but if they can take a few players down on their retreat, that would be something. Amanek sets himself up with smoke to block access towards connector. But that's all it's going to be now. NAVI just looking to remove players as they leave the bomb site here. The round is G2's. Taking a bit of damage towards connector. Perfecto will fall back. s1mple holds towards the vent. Oh God, he's too good.
I don't understand. It just looks so fast. Jax didn't really get a look in. And so it will be the first for G2, and they do manage to preserve 3 of their rifles on the way out. NAVI don't manage to sabotage too much in the victory, and one of the first for them here on Mirage. So much cash in the NAVI bank, though. They've had so many players standing. It's not like G2 have been whittling away. We use that word sometimes, like whittling away, chipping away at the CT economy. Yeah. They've had 4 players standing the majority of these victories.
Yeah, and in today's economy, you would normally say, okay, you go 6-0 up, you can lose 1 round, you'll be reset. They've had so many clean rounds, even after reinvestment here. Boomich still has 5K. Electronic with $8,000. s1mple with $8,000.
The smoke blocked his strafe. I haven't seen that before.
So he can't get up to the position he wants to, at least. But here's the push towards middle. CT smoke and the incendiary. And Hunter behind them, though. He knows this. He can get a couple of kills at this point. He'll sit there, ready and waiting. But Electronic seems to be onto him. Hunter waiting for the smoke to go down. Hopefully find himself a couple of freebies. There's the first, called by s1mple.
That's twice. Hunter has done more than enough to get that opening kill. Heroics from Nico's cousin. 4v4. Missed shot from s1mple. Trying to get that early damage to chip away at the G2 health, and it's been successful again. Kenny operating with 70. Jax down to 47. Real softened up for the M4s of the remaining NAVI squad.
That's sick from s1mple. Using the bench to get back towards window. A safer position. Now back towards CT spawn. For now, there are 4-4. 1 smoke, 2 flashes, a single Molotov. Reasonably healthy players as well on the G2 side as NAVI start to reposition. Recalculate the setup. Smoke towards connector. s1mple holding towards CT spawn. This will be an A finish as they make their way towards Tetris. Bomb on the back of Kenny.
s1mple avoids that flash. And he has a very tight line for the default cross. Going to be obscured, but that's to set Perfecto up for some damage. Electronic draws their fire. Oh, and the timing could be perfect. Backs are turned, he hears it. Perfecto, 1 kill, 7 rounds. He still doesn't need to do anything. Electronic's just lining him up. 4 remain. It's a triple kill. Perfecto collects his second, and 7 now for Navi's defense.
Just absolutely running away with this grand final. G2 haven't really had a look in. Dust 2 was close. It was their best chance yet, but right now it's a very grim outlook. 3-0 written all over the walls here of Mirage. They'll take yet another tactical timeout in round number 9. They have got money, but not a massive amount. Here's the replay of Electronic trying to get up towards shore. Well spotted, Alex, and you get blocked by the smoke as it came through, but do they buy into this round? Hunter with 3,400, Jax 3,500, the other 3 hovering around 5.5. So there is a buy there. There will be compromises, and it looks to me like they're taking a partial. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a hero rifle thrown into the mix here, but they won't expend all their cash. So there's a Galil for Hunter, $1,800, gets himself some Kevlar as well. So a partial buy, but a bit of extra spice thrown in there. There's a chance they can win this one. Usually see A executions off these sort of rounds, or a full-on B, a set piece where you can throw both pillars towards the kitchen window as well. Those are your 2 options, really. See which way they'd like to go with it. Looks to be a B lean. Smoke's already used, so no set piece to be thrown in the direction of Navi. Boost up towards window, he said Hunter. This is his special move. He's done it again, undetected for now.
He's going to really do damage here, and he doesn't hesitate to take down Electronic. Upgrades his weapon. Nexa catches the duel on Boomich. Things starting to spiral now for the Navi defense. Operating with just 3, and they're really sporadically spread across Mirage. s1mple left to his own devices to hold this ramp push. They are only Deagles, and he is tucking in towards the default position. First shot missed. Jax looking to react. A second. s1mple, where are you? Running out of options, but still the no-scope connects. He needs another one. Finally, Perfecto's arrived, and he's found himself a double bombs on default, and the round just crumbles in the hands of G2.
I feel like they're so scared of s1mple's presence on the bomb side there. No one wants to run into his AWP crosshair whatsoever. Amanek will be taken down. That's 2 opening picks for G2, and couldn't find s1mple. Amazing movement from him. He misses 2 or 3 shots, so you'd think they'd swarm him. The fact they've got pistols, they'd be getting on top of his position, but they just wanted to stay away. He hits a no-scope, and at that point, Perfecto arrives, mops them up, and the round falls apart. This was the play there. So Kenny S, the one with the bomb, unfortunately, the player to jump up. Where is everyone else?
Whoa.
Great stuff from Perfecto, covering fire, coming through. Really saved the day here. Could have fallen apart much quicker. Kenny S, frustration starting to set in. He's found a single kill, 1 in 8. Amanek 1 in 7. Nexa and Jackson 2 kills. It's a similar story to the start of the game, and Kenny S is just getting removed.
He didn't pull the trigger.
I'm not sure if he couldn't see him there, but from the POV we saw, there was certain vision, but either way, Hunter does pull him back. The only player that's really fragging right now for G2.
He's doing everything he possibly can. He's pulled his teammates by the collar into another round. Feels like 3 rounds in a row, it's just been Hunter who gives G2 an opportunity. Now let's see if they can seize it. If ever there was a time, I mean, round 10, you're 2-0 down. Your star's giving you what you need. This is more of a game than just reaction times and the fundamentals. It's about the mind, and Boomich, he's cold as ice onto the first. Good spray control from Electronic. At that range, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty perfect, actually. Very difficult to pull that move off. And they go towards CT spawn. Unfortunately, lads, you've got a couple of players ready and waiting. That's Perfecto. Starting to get a bit of action now. He was 0-0-0. Every rotation he's making now seems to be ideal. He hasn't died yet. He's actually 7-0 right now. No one has killed Perfecto, and we're going into round number 11.
0-0-7.
Oh my goodness. What the hell? Okay, so 7 kills, 0 deaths. That means they haven't gone B at all, and every rotation he's making, he's absolutely nailed it.
That is crazy, and he's not only got 7 kills, that's the highest fragging we've seen from G2, and he's done it without a death. This is just all ways to demonstrate the dominance being displayed here by Navi. Absolutely ripping a team that have humiliated others here in Katowice. Let's not forget G2 besting Mouse Sports, Liquid, to get them to the grand final stage, but it's Navi who have seemed to hit a power spike, an unprecedented power spike, never before seen, certainly not on a grand final stage, and certainly not a beating like this. s1mple, ready to pass judgment on G2, hammer onto Jax, and a second opportunity. I think he's even kind of worked out that there's another tucked in on connector. He's looking for it.
He seems to be very aware, doesn't he? Just making sure that he secures this round yet again. s1mple 7 kills. His name is Flamey at the top, though. Another show-stopping performance from him, 15-4. As they have full control of the A side. What's the final play? They got 1 flash on the T side. We talked about their antics towards the window room. Hunter in position to get there again.
What is that?
Okay. There's not much you can do about that.
Okay, that's a response and a crucial one from Hunter. He was spotted but still frags. Electronic gone, a crucial component, but now towards B with only 20 seconds. Flamey, you have to get this turret down, and there's nothing they can do now. Perfecto, a crucial frag. Kenny's gone. The round's completely stolen from them with 14 seconds. Nothing Hunter can really do. Perfecto will get another one added to the list. 3 in the round. That puts him 10-0. This doesn't feel, I'm going to say it, this doesn't feel like the final I was expecting at all.
Yeah, just remember, we haven't seen this G2 play a lot of Mirage. They did have one very good performance on it, but right now, in terms of the individual duels, they're getting absolutely destroyed. Their money's not coming online. The big sniper we built up, Kenny S, is on 1 in 10, suggests he's just not getting any footing into this game whatsoever. He was non-existent on the first map, had some moments on the second, but right now, Navi, everyone just looks fantastic. You've got s1mple at the bottom of the scoreboard right now, and they're 10-1 up. That kind of says it all. That really does. That's a statement in itself.
Yeah, you put that in a Petri dish. That's a very good sign of things to come for Navi. Together for 2 weeks, by the way. 2 weeks of practice. And on the grand final stage versus a G2 who, for the first time ever, went on record saying they came into this tournament not thinking they could do good, but that they would. Well, they got to the grand finals. It seems that this one could just be a little too elusive. A Navi with these hard-hitting players. s1mple's feeling himself now, will get himself elevated and over to short for the aggressive line. A gap in the smoke to exploit, but no one's interested just yet. Can he bring in his AWP to the top mid party as well? And he's been taken down, at least Jax has, and jiggling to try and draw the Kenny shot. Now exposed as the smoke fades, Electronic trying to draw him back. They're playing this so well. It's not a one-man show, it's a 5-man show, and it's the grand finals of Katowice.
2 players wounded, Hunter and Amanek, as they try and fight their way out of this mess. A few rounds to go. 10-5 would be serviceable. 12-3 would be possible. 14-1 would just not work out at all. Need to post a few more as they probe towards middle. The sniper of Kenny, primed but no armor, means he's incredibly squishy. That suggests he's got desperation right now. He's got 11 ADR. He hasn't had any inputs to this game whatsoever so far. Down he goes. Remember, no armor. The M4 just chews through him. And he's alone. Where's the spacing? Where's the basic team play there?
Oh, it's just clinical. 1 by 1. They throw themselves against the rocks that is painted yellow and black.
He has got big clutch potential, but Navi are not giving him a look in whatsoever. 11-1, no bomb planted now in 5 rounds, Alex. That's pretty much been clean. Fragging victories for Navi. Even with the maximum loss bonus, you need to take another partial buy here. I just don't think they have the time to do so. They might have to take another force. Time will tell. Mac 10's being purchased, suggests it will be the partial coming through, but this is not the way we want to see the 3rd map go down.
Part of me has got my pom-poms on, and maybe a skirt, that's optional, but I'm cheering for Perfecto for his first grand final.
That's a good point.
His first grand final, if he could finish a half of his first grand final in his career with 0 deaths.
Shit, he still hasn't died?
Yes, 0 deaths, bro.
I'd assume that would happen by now.
For some reason, and for the first time in my career, I'm cheering for a player not to die. 10, 2 assists,
That'd be
0
so
deaths.
insane. If he finishes with no kills, that's got to be some sort of red. Lifting a trophy without even dying on a map. I even know that's a record we kept track of as they make their way towards A. More of the same, I'm afraid. Boomage just absolutely going to town here. Lots of damage inflicted. They've got the man advantage. But I've got a good feeling about this. G2 can make this work, but maybe not so much. The kills through the smokes are a little bit too much to handle. s1mple, no! They've had enough. They're already dead at this point. No! No in the knife, please!
No! That's not okay!
Not 2 of them.
Oh, wow. An embodiment of the confidence that's flowing through the veins of Natus Vincere. That cheeky bastard s1mple has got his knife out on the grand final stage.
You hate to see it, but you also kind of love it. So, terrorist time out here. They're gonna have, it's their final one of the game. Maybe even the tournament. He's loving it out there, isn't he? He's just like, I can't believe you're doing this to me, but I like it.
Yeah, I need to learn Russian. I feel like Bumich would be a bundle of laughs.
Yes, seems like a very happy gentleman. Round 14, and again, no bomb planted, but there was a partial buy in the previous round. Just do the set pieces, boys. Let's last 2 rounds, 8 set pieces, get that bomb down. Let's at least have the Stars have a clutch situation on their hands, something.
Just something where there's coordinated flight paths, everyone's going in the same direction, everyone knows what everyone's watching, trading.
That's all I'm calling right now. I might like to say like 2 set pieces towards it, one at A, one at B, get 1 more round, we can do this. But 14-1, it's not going to work.
And I will be that devil's advocate and say that I really liked the G2 CT side of Mirage against the 100 Thieves. We're into the action, and you're right to the extent that they are starting to group.
Yeah, they just have to do a set piece. It's the only option. You're not winning duels. You need to eradicate risks and overwhelm the numbers on the bomb side with 5 players.
Stifling CT utility towards underpass. 2 nades, a Molotov. All just to keep him at bay. Buy time for... Oh, he's already pushing. Bumich is already getting all the info. Ramp is clear. He's transferring all that information. Perfecto, he readies himself. The spray does not connect. Looking to reposition. Survival integral at this point. And the smoke embodies that. He can play around it. And Flamey's arrived. So is Perfecto into the feed. Kenny claws one back for G2. He needs more. But s1mple snatch next out of the round. Hunter. He found openings, but now he needs to find closings. He needs 3 frags. And Bumich's flank does connect.
Oh. Okay, Kenny, yes, we're going to need something a little bit special from you here. 3 versus 1. AWP in hand, plenty of time to dissect the round. But down he goes. It's going to be 13-1. They tried their luck towards B. They had a couple of trades, but this has been about a 5-minute half so far, and they have 1 round to show for it. 13-1. Looks like we have a champion at this point. I just don't know what they can do in this final round of MAC-10s, UMPs, Galils, and not much more. Navi have brought out the auto sniper. They've thrown it away, fair enough. I was hoping to see it at some point, but Flamey shows some restraint. Final round. A execution looking likely. 4 players at A ramp. That is going to contact play for the smoke, I think.
Hunter just lost a lot of his health there.
He's towards B.
A lot of the survival of Hunter crucial to them not being rumbled too soon with his 4-man ramp stack. Kenny will be flashing them in. Who is the spearhead of this assault? Nexa and Jax swinging in, but Bumich gets enough time and he holds his spray. So confident in the pattern. Another chance. Good flash, this time actually from his teammates, excuse me. Blinding him and forcing him into an awkward fight. It will be amanek, who already, though, keeping things level. Advantage maintained for Navi. Has to be more than that, and now we go. amanek and Hunter, they're keeping it competitive, but at what cost? He's only got 22 health to make this clutch a reality.
Good flashes, though. There's a chance here. He did spot a player, but couldn't pull the trigger in time. amanek makes his way towards the steps, and he's got Perfecto, who hasn't gone down, I believe. He completed the perfect half. 14-0 on the grand final stage, and what could be the final map there. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Let's take a break and see if they can close this out and lift the trophy here in Katowice. You're not going to want to miss it.
Starting in Group A, Navi began their adventures with a victory versus FaZe Clan, thrown to the lowers by the Swedish fnatик, and rose from the ashes with victories versus the Ninjas in Pajamas, FaZe Clan again, and of course into the playoffs they strode with a quarterfinal victory, and now the semis, into the Grand. They have sailed and exceeded expectations, 2 rounds from a trophy lift.
Pretty remarkable scenes here. They've got so much buffer room, it's unbelievable. They swarm towards the A side, dunk an A towards Jack. A couple of bullets will take him down. He has to fall back. It's the bomb planted already. We've seen this many times before. Can they be as efficient as Navi on the retake? I'm not so sure. Good flash bandits in CT spawn, and now they will make their way towards that position. A dink towards Hunter. It goes from bad to worse. They do have a defuse kit and a smoke. That's on the back of Amanek here, but they need to find a lot of kills first. It's going to be Perfecto to strike first. The first death he's had in this entire map.
They finally silenced Perfecto. He's like, what is this screen and what is that from Kenny? Quick triple all onto Boomich. Incredible on Nuke, and a stray bullet through the smoke doesn't look likely, and the defuse will come in, and G2, a necessary win, but there's so many more to come from that one. Boomich under pressure, but we see him survive and bring into the next. Round 17. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a G2 jersey, you've got your rosaries, whatever you need, will we see resistance on this third map? We've never seen a successful reverse sweep in a best of 5, and G2 not making a strong case in that first half to start one.
Well, unfortunately for G2, we do get the bomb planted for Navi. That means more of the same what we saw in the first half. Kriegs and a Galil, a couple of deagles to back it up. Perfecto fires off a shot towards middle, and at this point, they still have 2 smokes, 4 flashes, waiting for any aggressive CTs here. They actually have more rifles than the defense. They've got a FAMAS and an M4. This is pretty even in that respect.
Yeah, I always can't help but lean towards the T side when I see that Krieg next to the name Electronic. And Flamey, let's not forget his Galil. He has had no issues making that weapon sing. In the semi-finals, an ace versus a full buy from Astralis. Well, that put them in the Grand, 2 rounds away from the trophy lift.
B split to come in, Alex. They'll smoke towards connector. That's been deployed. That's short. Flashbang to come round. Not the most ideal weapon for the job, but the HE might soften them up. That's going to do a lot of damage. Oh my goodness, about 100 there. We'll see them come. Oh, okay, Perfecto. Amanek needs one more here, but they know exactly where he is. That's the problem. He'll buy some time. He'll do what he can here. They drop down, and they'll find him. Kenny Esto has been playing well so far. Flamey has got his number, however. It's now a 4 versus 2. Nexa and Jax. No kid available. Flank coming in from the latter. MP9 in the hand. 2 kills, 16th death so far. Looks towards the bench. No one spotted, and now he has been. Smoke available. Nexa charges in. Low HP players here. He could pull this one off. 2 versus 1 now. Bomb ticking away with no kit. He'll need to find a quick kill, smoke the bomb, get a defuse going. But he has no idea who these last 2 remaining players are. Electronic hasn't missed many so far. Inflicts serious damage towards Nexa. Looks like we might have championship point here, and we certainly do. 15-2 overall. Money is absolutely broken for G2. They have no loss bonus behind this. $1,400 per player. Already used their timeouts. It looks like we might be done.
Malek just powerless. Forced to watch as the rest of this map will transpire. Good attempt from Nexa. Did manage to get himself a couple more for the stat pad, but yeah, this is unlike anything I've ever seen. I'm finding myself lost for words.
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted, truly. And look at Electronic. He's just exuding confidence. He hasn't let go of W, and he's punished for it. Nexa now has a Krieg to fight this one off, and Kenny, he's not going down without a fight.
Interesting maneuver. A championship point, I have to say, but still they're making it work. 2 versus 2, and it's going to be Simple and Flamey, who just seem to be taking matters into their own hands. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Your champions are going to be Navi. It's a 3-0 clean sweep here in the grand final. This is a legit team. I didn't have much expectations for the whole squad. Navi over the years have never really had a comprehensive lineup that makes sense for all the roles to fill, but finally, behind the firepower of Simple Electronic, they've got the pieces they need to be a world-class team.
The belief that Simple has in his roster is clear. Boomich leading them against some of the greatest minds of Counter-Strike, reinventing their game with Blade.
Yes, absolutely. they've actually learned as the tournament goes on as well. We're seeing them use the timeouts now. They're being more disciplined. They're reeling themselves in. They're not making all-in plays individually. Crossfires are enabled. The in-game leader is fragging out of his mind. It all makes sense. This is a team not to be messed with.
Another one for the trophy cabinet for s1mple, of course. And I mean, the Navi squad putting Perfecto in that seat. He trials as a budding recruit from Simon Gaming, and he gels. They give him the chance. You know, it's similar to that of so many names in 2020, but they've done it. Victory, unlike anything the Spodek has seen before. Nobody could touch them. They did it in the semi-finals, and they did it again in the grand finals. Your IEM Katowice 2020 champions, it's NAVI!
Our champions are both resilient, and our champions are merciless. And in the pursuit of the cup, they've waded through a sea of formidable opponents in these brackets. Every step of the way, they have found an answer and set the pace, dictating fights at their own discretion, and finally, smothering their opponents of G2 here on the stage. I'm absolutely ecstatic to present to you the Masters of Katowice. It's Natus Vincere, the champions of the Intel Extreme Masters Season 14.
On the 24th of January, they added this new kid. They added Perfecto, Guardian, the veteran. He got the bench. This team has come together in a short period of time. They've got the best players in the world, and they're starting to look like the absolute best team in the world, beating Astralis in back-to-back best-of-3s over the last 2 tournaments. Some of the names that these guys have toppled here today, absolutely insane.
We've seen a complete new level of this NAVI roster. We thought they could be good. A lot of people had high expectations coming into this tournament. People thought NAVI with s1mple and Electronic could be one of the best teams in the world. And this is the first time they showcased that on the big stage, winning. Not just winning, but winning in such a dominant fashion. NAVI completely dismantling G2.
They have absolutely shocked the world here in Katowice. This has been quite a showing, a tremendous showing. Boomich being a very impactful component of this victory for Natus Vincere, and well, we're going to hear from the champions direct.
We are indeed. That was absolutely outrageous. 2011, last time the Navi's name was scribbled on to that trophy. What were you doing back then, back in 2011?
2011, I think I was 14. I was starting to play CES to grind for this trophy because this trophy is insane. It's not like ESL 1 Cologne trophy or something like this. Intel Extreme Masters, you know. And it's insane for me.
In a career full of highlights, what does it mean to you right now to have won this trophy, to have your team NAVI scribbled across it?
I just understand that all work that we did, it was very insane. And all my teammates feel this power right now. And when you sit and just enjoy your teammates' highlights all the time, it's just the best feeling.
To win a trophy is amazing. To win it in the fashion you did, what does that give you as a squad for the future?
I think just give us extra confidence. We should never forget that we should work more and more because it's only 2 weeks and a really good results for our new roster. I think we have a good potential and everyone understands this, and yeah.
If you've done this after 2 weeks of training, what do you do after 6 months, after a year?
Well, I hope we're gonna be one of the best teams in the world and people will call it.
Is this the NAVI era now?
Yeah.
Well, listen, it was amazing to watch you play. Let's get you to sign this camera once more. They are your Grandmaster champions for the 3rd time, 9 years after last winning it. NAVI, the champions of Katowice 2020.
Just an absolute bashing here. When you look at these numbers, when you try to explain and quantify what it is to have 2 members of your team only die a collective of 5 times throughout the last map of the series on Mirage. What on earth have we just witnessed?
The last 2 days watching NAVI, and this is no word of a lie, I have been sitting there watching the game and just laughing because what I have seen unfold in front of my eyes, I cannot believe. I thought seeing Astralis take Counter-Strike to new heights with their preparation, with how drilled they were, with how they raised the bar for teamwork in Counter-Strike, that level was amazing. But this level right here, if this is a consistent NAVI level, Oh my God, the world has to watch out.
It's the transformation as well. Coming into the tournament, we saw them in the very first game against FaZe Clan. It wasn't necessarily looking bad, but it wasn't looking like a team that could end up winning the entire tournament. The way Navi has transformed himself into being a world beater right here, winning IEM Katowice 2020 in such a fashion, it's really, really impressive.
Yes, that's right. The president of Katowice here on site to don these medallions on these players, these champions, these that have come so far and endured so much through the test of time up to this point. If you're a Navi fan, if you've been in the Navi camp, you're definitely holding your head high tonight.
Can you imagine how Perfecto must feel?
Absolutely not. I cannot even think.
What an absolutely unreal feeling for that youngster just joining this team, you know, being the fifth man, the new kid on the block, and then going on to play with some of the best Counter-Strike players in the world, and then lift a trophy at his first outing with them in terms of a big final like this.
In the Spodek!
I could not imagine just that feeling.
That's just unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh. It is unbelievable, and I can only imagine how he must feel right now. I can only imagine how the entirety of Navi must feel right now.
Right now, right here, the place to be, Katowice 2020. Of course, now we need to look at the fine details, the fine print there at the very bottom. We need to now look forward into what is the gameplay of these players that have really come out here in spades and shown up in buckets. And we're going to do that with some Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Power plays. That's right, we're going to be